Ready to break into a rewarding career? Elwood National Forge can help. Elwood National Forge produces critical defense-rated parts to all branches of the United States military, meaning each day our employees are doing their part to support the men and women protecting our country. With multiple positions currently available and several career paths to choose from, Elwood National Forge offers on-site and on-the-job training, competitive pay and benefits, including 401k and insurance that start the date of hire, paid time off, and long-term job security. We'd love to support you in building a career. To learn more about becoming part of the Elwood National Forge family, visit enfjobs.com.
With locations in Chippenville and Tionesta, Tionesta Builder Supply is a full-service home improvement center specializing in everything you need to build or remodel your home. From power tools and accessories to paint and sundries and general hardware merchandise, Tionesta Builders has everything you need to get your project done quickly. Find out more at tionestabuilders.us and like them on Facebook.
Looking for a place to hone your skills in the off-season? How about just a friendly pickup game, or even a new league to join? Then head to the Hub at PF in Russell. An all-weather athletic facility, the Hub has everything you need to get your game on, from basketball and volleyball courts to indoor batting cages. And more than just an athletic facility, the Hub also plays host to special events like concerts and worship services. The Hub is a proud supporter of local athletes and wants to thank the community for all its support over the last 2 years.
Icy Ink Screen Printing and Embroidery, located at 2043 Pennsylvania Avenue East in Warren. We offer screen printing and embroidery on apparel, as well as graphic design, web design, photography, and custom frames, and specialize in youth fundraisers. We also offer photography services and custom frames. Check out our Icebox stores online at icyink.com or give us a call at 814-688-0034. Let's meet, drink coffee, and design some cool shirts. Be cool, wear Icy.
Hey, this is Joe.
And this is Scotty.
And we're the hosts of the Beehive Sports Podcast. You like uncut looks into all things sports?
If you said yes, then this is a sports show for you.
Live weekly shows broadcasted on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, covering everything from local sports in northwestern Pennsylvania all the way to the pros.
Not to mention the hottest takes you will ever hear. Follow us on all social media platforms and tune into episodes today.
Hi, Chris Rossetti here from D9and10sports.com. I wanted to take a second to tell you about one of the best restaurants in all of Western Pennsylvania, the Allegheny Grill in Foxburg, PA. With indoor and outdoor dining, you can enjoy prime rib all weekend long, or perhaps it is their full wings served on Thursday wing nights that you're after. From celebrating a special occasion to hanging out with family and friends, the Allegheny Grill in Foxburg is the place to be. As they like to say, you come for the food and you stay for the view. Reserve your table today at AlleghenyGrill.com.
Rocket Detailing and Auto Service can help get you and your vehicle ready for the winter elements. Winter is coming, and a ceramic coating or coat of wax can help maintain the look of your vehicle through the worst of it. We also offer competitive rates on oil changes and tires. Check out our services and book an appointment online at rocketdetails.com. Rocket Detailing and Auto Service is located next to the movie theater in North Warren. It is becoming an annual playoff tradition for the Raiders and Knights to meet in the District 10 playoffs, and today they'll play for one of the richest prizes in all of District 10, the Class 1A Football Championship. This is the District 10 Class 1A Football Championship on the YDL Sports Network, powered by the Eisenhower Football Boosters. This afternoon, Reynolds and Eisenhower square off, championship on the line. Good afternoon from Carter Field here in Titusville. You are on the YDL Sports Network. Again, thanks to the Eisenhower Football Boosters for helping sponsor this afternoon's championship contest. We'll get started right now with the Allegheny Grill of Foxburg pregame show. The Allegheny Grill in Foxburg was voted #1 in Pennsylvania for waterfront restaurants. Stop down and find out why. Make a reservation today at AlleghenyGrill.com, where you come for the food and stay for the view. You're on the drive to the game, brought to you by Warren Tire Center, who makes sure you get to the game in comfort. Visit them online at warrentirecenter.com. And given this afternoon's or this evening's forecast, you might want to get over there in a big hurry if you haven't gotten your winter tires on. Our game stream is always brought to you by the Computer Guru in Lieber. Visit them at computerguru.net. And welcome into the Park Avenue Motorcar broadcast booth. If you have a fender bender, we can mender at Park Avenue Motorcar. Call 814-726-9728. Park Avenue Motorcar is proudly serving Warren County for 30 years. Brian Hagberg and Cody Elms with you here for the YDL Sports Network. And Cody, for the fourth time in 4 years, these two teams are going to tangle here in the District 10 playoffs. They met in 2019 in the quarterfinals. That was a big win for Reynolds, 43-7. Met in 2020 in the District 10 championship. Reynolds earned a 27-0 victory there. And then just last year in the semifinals, a little over a year ago on November 5th of 2021, it was Reynolds 56, Eisenhower 27, right here on this field in Titusville. And now we're back in 2022, this time for all the marbles.
Yeah, we are. And it's expected to be a hard-hitting, rushing heavy matchup tonight. The two teams have faced off 7 times since 2006. Reynolds holds the 5-2 lead in that series. The last Eisenhower win actually came in September of 2007. They won 15-0 over Reynolds. So they're going to be looking to make up for some lost time here tonight.
Well, this afternoon it's daytime. The sun's out. It's shining. It is a clear day. It's very brisk. I believe temperatures are hovering right around 30 degrees as we're getting ready for kickoff here. And a strong breeze is blowing. So we'll see how much that impacts how this game is played out. The winner here this afternoon will take on Port Allegheny in the PIAA quarterfinals next week. Date, time, and location for that game will be announced sometime probably tomorrow. And it was similar conditions last night at Parkway Field in Bradford when the Gators won the District 9 championship. And you saw it really affect Brockway in the passing game, a lot of drop passes. So we'll see with the sun out, the snow that was, or the dusting of snow that was kind of covering the field when I arrived here about 2 hours ago has dissipated now. You can see that the field's pretty much clear, but it is very wet down there. I was just down there a little bit ago, some soggy conditions. So ball control could be an issue.
Yeah, and we've seen that just covering the Eisenhower games throughout the season, that they've had some issues with ball control, drop passes, some fumbles. So it'll be curious to see if Penley is doing anything to try to remedy that and reassure his guys to make sure that they're taking care of the ball tonight.
And again, last year on this field in the semifinal win for Reynolds, Jalen Wagner just went off. 10 carries, 347 yards, 5 touchdowns on the ground, had 4 receptions for 51 yards and a touchdown receiving as well. And if Eisenhower is going to buck this recent trend of losses to Reynolds in the playoffs, they're going to have to find a way to slow down Jalen Wagner.
And that's a lot easier said than done. I mean, this kid's amazing, and the entire offense runs through him. He's dominant in every game that he plays. It's going to be a tall order, probably the tallest order that Eisenhower has had to deal with defensively so far this year.
So Eisenhower undefeated 11-0 comes into the playoffs as the number 1 seed. Reynolds is 10-1, comes in as the number 2 seed. Lone loss for the Raiders this year to a very good Sharpsville team who, oh, by the way, is playing for the Class 2A championship later tonight in Wilmington against Farrell. Should be a fantastic game down there as well. But, when that's your only loss on the season, You're certainly doing something right. Had scored at least 27 points in all but one game so far, and that game – really, you could say the only reason they didn't get to 27 is because they scored the final touchdown in overtime and didn't get the extra point.
Yeah. I was looking at the opponents, the strength of schedule for both teams, and it's pretty similar, actually. The difference with Reynolds is they've outscored their opponents over 100 points more than Eisenhower. And that's not even taking into account the fact that they had Cochranton. They didn't play that game.
Right.
So that's another game that they could have put up another 40 burger on. So just Reynolds, every team that they have played outside of Sharpsville has been very dominant. They had a little bit of difficulty with Northeast in the last week of the season, but I'm sure there were reasons for that.
And they come in, just gave up a lot of yards to Maplewood in that semifinal win, but it was a 44-6 victory for the Raiders. Yeah. So, so you gave up some yards. So what? You only gave up 6 points. Jalen Wagner and Hayden McLaughlin each had 3 touchdowns in that victory. And Reynolds has won 2 straight District 10 championships, looking for a third here this afternoon, has not given up a point in either of the two previous championship games.
Yeah, they defeated Maplewood 44-6, like you said. They held a 30-0 lead at halftime. No coach will ever admit it, but they're not going to have their defense going crazy. They're going to bring them off a little bit. Yeah, you might give up more yards or a touchdown late in the game or something, but it's better than having your guys go all out and risk an injury when you have one or maybe more, hopefully more for them, playoff games to come.
Taking a look offensively for the Raiders, we talked about Jalen Wagner, and obviously the offense runs through him, has 2,449 yards and 35 touchdowns on the ground this season. But don't discount the Reynolds passing game either. Braden McCloskey has thrown for almost 1,600 yards with 14 touchdowns, has thrown 11 picks, so they are susceptible to the interception at times. And he's also got almost 400 yards and 7 scores on the ground. Hayden McLaughlin has been the leading receiver, 18 catches, has turned into 757 yards and 9 scores. Tino Gentili, 20 receptions for 352 yards. But one thing they are going to be without, not just as a break for Wagner offensively, but on the defensive side of the ball, Vito Gentili was ejected from that semifinal win over Maplewood, and so he will be suspended for this game. If Reynolds were to win, he would miss that quarterfinal game as well.
And you're at that point in playoffs now where you want everybody that you've rode with all season, so that's certainly going to hurt. But as far as the Eisenhower end of it goes, Reynolds has given up 1,187 yards rushing, 102.6 yards per game this year. To me, that's a tough defense.
Yeah,
and they've only given up 7 rushing touchdowns. Eisenhower, on the other end of things, their majority of their touchdowns have come from the running game. So something's going to have to give here for the Knights if they're going to stick with the offense that has gotten them to this point.
Definitely going to be strength on strength when the Eisenhower offense is on the field against the Reynolds defense. But what, the flip side is also going to be true. The one thing that has appeared, and I've said this to you at multiple points throughout this season, that seems different about this Eisenhower team as compared to the one that has faced this Reynolds team in the previous 2 playoffs, is that their run defense seems so much more physical. It's more stout against the run, and it starts because of the heady play of that linebacking core: Benji Bauer, Tucker Lindell, and Caleb Penn.
Yeah, and ironically, 2 of those guys are key components in the offensive game too. They have intelligent linebackers, intelligent defenders. They are very aggressive, and they're hard hitting. But I think the highlighting part of that is their intelligence, their ability to adapt to an offense in any misdirections. They have handled that for the most part throughout the year very well, and they might get burned, but on very few occasions have we seen them get burned by a similar or same play more than once.
Well, and the one thing, looking back at that semifinal game last year, Eisenhower got down, I believe it was to the 4, and attempted a field goal. It was blocked. Reynolds took over on the 14. First play of the game, Wagner breaks free for an 86-yard touchdown. And I talked to Coach Jim Penley after that game, and he was so upset, not specifically in the loss, but in the way that they lost, because he said, we knew they were going to run that counter play off the bat, and they still executed it perfectly, and we were out of position. And you just wonder, with this group, does that happen? Are those linebackers caught out of position the way they were a year ago with the way these guys have played this year?
Yeah, they've done a very good job of limiting damage. If somebody, whether it was Appleby taking advantage of them, or even last week with Cambridge Springs when they had outrushed Eisenhower in the first half, they recognized that they were getting ran all over on, and they adjusted at halftime and completely shut them down at halftime.
And talking about that semifinal win for the Knights up at War Memorial Field in Warren, trailed most of the game against Cambridge Springs. Big Benji Bauer, 58-yard touchdown run with 2.5 minutes to go, gave Eisenhower the lead, 25-20, which was the final. And then Garrett Jensen's interception with about a minute to play sealed the win. And when we talk about this defense, obviously it starts with the linebackers. But Jensen's a guy that you've got to keep an eye on. He's somebody I think we've got to watch here this afternoon, because when they've needed a big play out of their secondary, he has shown up time and time again. We saw it early in the season, had a big pick 6 when the offense had kind of slogged down. We saw it at Northwestern, had a huge pass breakup on what would have been a touchdown pass for the Wildcats. And then obviously last week as well in that win over Cambridge Springs came up with the game-sealing interception.
Yeah, absolutely. He's huge. Eisenhower's forced 32 turnovers, 15 interceptions, 17 fumbles. You got to take into account that McCloskey has 11 interceptions on the season. So this is an area where Eisenhower might be able to take advantage of a very strong Reynolds team. Every team still has weaknesses, and this is an area where they could take advantage of them. And I think to win tonight, they're going to have to.
And the question they're going to have to answer offensively, we know what Benji Bauer can do. Has 1,961 yards rushing, 23 touchdowns, both single-season Eisenhower records. Tucker Lindell's added almost another 600 yards. But they're going to have to find something to get going in the passing game without top receiver Wyatt Lookenhouse out with an injury. And he had a monster game here a year ago against these Raiders, had 8 catches, 146 yards, and a touchdown. But they're going to have somebody step up, and we've talked all season. This may be the game, Chris Bunk, some of those short passes across the middle, but look for somebody like a Keegan Ekstrom, maybe a Cameron Jacobczak to step up and try to make some plays.
Yeah, it's funny you said Chris
I got ahead
Bunk.
of you, didn't
You did get ahead of me on my players to watch. But no, I expect that has to be something that Eisenhower has to implement into their offense, because although Benji Bauer has been the focal point of their offense, to win tonight, they have to have a guy step up.
Right, they are going to play the national anthem. We're going to take a quick commercial break as it is a recorded anthem. We'll be right back on the YDL Sports Network.
Ready to break into a rewarding career? Elwood National Forge can help. Elwood National Forge produces critical defense-rated parts to all branches of the United States military, meaning each day our employees are doing their part to support the men and women protecting our country. With multiple positions currently available and several career paths to choose from, Elwood National Forge offers on-site and on-the-job training, competitive pay and benefits, including 401k and insurance that start the date of hire, paid time off, and long-term job security. We'd love to support you in building a career. To learn more about becoming part of the Elwood National Forge family, visit enfjobs.com.
Rocket Detailing and Auto Service can help get you and your vehicle ready for the winter elements. Winter is coming, and a ceramic coating or coat of wax can help maintain the look of your vehicle through the worst of it. We also offer competitive rates on oil changes and tires. Check out our services and book an appointment online at rocketdetails.com. Rocket Detailing and Auto Service is located next to the movie theater in North Warren.
What's the recipe for surprising the kids, treating yourself, and ditching dish duty? You're looking at it. Order your Pizza Hut faves like original pan, original stuffed crust, and more at pizzahut.com. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
And we're back here at Carter Field in Titusville, just about set to wrap up the Allegheny Grill at Foxburg pregame show. We're going to take a look now at our players to watch, brought to you by Icy Ink and Warren. Let's meet, drink coffee, and design some cool shirts. Be cool. Wear Icy. Visit them online at icyink.com. That's icyync.com.
Well, we were just talking about him, Brian. Chris Bunk. I think for the Knights to be successful, they're going to have to do more than lean on Benji Bauer. Jalen Wagner, he can strike fast, as we talked about earlier, and he's going to be relentless all night with Wyatt Lookenhouse no longer a receiving option for Pascuzzi. This would be a huge time for Chris Bunk to step up and be the difference maker. On the Reynolds side, it's Jalen Wagner. His stats speak for himself. His dominance speaks volumes more. The Raiders are Jalen Wagner, and he carries this offense on his shoulders week in and week out, owning over 70% of Reynolds' rushing yards and 35 of their 54 touchdowns. He's certainly their player to watch.
All right, those are our players to watch. Again, brought to you by Icy Ink and Warren. And now our keys to the game, brought to you by the Warren County Visitors Bureau, Pennsylvania's all-season destination. Warren County, simple, pure, real.
It goes kind of back to what we were talking about in Chris Bunk. Someone other than Bauer is going to have to step up on offense to force the Raiders defense to play off the ball. It would be beneficial for the Knights to get a connection going with Pascuzzi, Bunk, Ekstrom, and work from there to establish the run game. I think they're going to have to soften up that defense a little bit. On the Reynolds side, they got to play aggressive defensively early and force the Knights to make mistakes that they can't afford. Eisenhower tends to snowball once the penalties, the errors, turnovers start Reynolds needs to force that to happen early, and they can dominate the game.
All right, so Eisenhower won the toss, elected to defer, so Reynolds will receive the opening kickoff here as we end the Allegheny Grove Foxburg pregame show. Our first quarter this afternoon brought to you by Elwood National Forge. Visit enfjobs.com to become part of the Elwood National Forge family. Cole Kellogg to kick, Jalen Wagner back deep to receive. The kick is squibbed and fielded immediately by the Raiders. And that looked like number 22, Brian Minjarez on the recovery, able to hop up with that squib kick. And Reynolds is going to start at its own 45. And they're going to empty the backfield.
All right, there's an empty set in the backfield right now for the Raiders.
And McCloskey back to pass, firing down the field, has McLaughlin, and it is broken up by Pascuzzi and Ekstrom. And that was Andrew McCloskey taking the snap number 4. Not Braden McCloskey, number 12, as you see Braden coming into the huddle right now. But already right off the bat, Cody, Pascuzzi had a beat on that. If he'd have been able to come down with it, could have been a huge play.
Yeah, and they're not going to be able to – Eisenhower's not going to be able to let a lot of those opportunities go.
So now Braden McCloskey in the gun has Wagner to his right. They're going to give it to Wagner. He goes around the left side, escapes the tackle of Jensen, and then is pushed out of bounds by Ryan Chambers. He's across midfield to the Eisenhower 49, a gain of 6, and that's a Luton's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning third down for the Raiders. So 3rd and 6 coming up here for Reynolds on the Eisenhower 49. And the give right up the gut, and that's McLaughlin spinning away from tackles, still on his feet. And McLaughlin gets all the way down to the 36-yard line, gain of 13, and a Ty Nesta Builder Supply first down for Reynolds. And that's where Eisenhower's got to make the difference. You got to, when they hit those guys initially, you got to make the stop. And McLaughlin was able to spin around and gain a bunch of extra yards after contact.
Yeah, arm tackles are not going to get it done tonight.
And they give it to McLaughlin again, and this time he's stuffed right after about a 1-yard gain. It was Mike Venata on the stop for Eisenhower. We'll make it a 2nd down and 9. Now on the Eisenhower 35.
All right, so the line of scrimmage is the 35-yard
You send
line.
Tino Gentili and Andrew McCloskey split out to the right. PJ Winkle to the near side. The give is to Wagner off right tackle, and he's hit. Going to get a couple of yards. But solid stop there by Tucker Lindell to string that out and force Wagner back inside.
And that's what they have to do. You know, try to get him to where you guys can gang tackle him and not go one-on-one with him, because on one-on-one, Wagner has the skill set to beat defenders.
They'll bring up a Luton's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning 3rd down and 7. 2nd, 3rd down of this possession for the Raiders, opening possession of the ball game here from Carter Field in Titusville. No gain from McLaughlin. Will bring up a 4th down, and this deep in Eisenhower territory, you would imagine Reynolds is going to go for it.
I would think so, as much as their offense has dominated teams all year. And where they're at. I'll be curious to see what they do, though, because, I mean, you're looking at 4th and 7, and Jalen Wagner certainly has the ability to break free for more than 7 yards. But in any other normal circumstance, this would certainly be a passing down.
So 4th down and 7 coming up for Reynolds from the Eisenhower 33, opening possession of the District 10 Class 1A Championship. And we've got a flag movement, and it's going to be a false start on Reynolds.
Mm-hmm. Looks like the quarterback got the ball. The snap happened, and nobody else did it.
So that'll take it from 4th and 7 to 4th and 12. And it looks like Reynolds is going to keep the offense on the field still here, though. McCloskey has Wagner to his right, twins to each side. Back to pass. Has time. Fires down the sideline, and it is brought in by McLaughlin at the 15. In between a pair of defenders. Pascuzzi and Caleb Penley were both there, and somehow McCloskey was able to thread that needle and get it to McLaughlin for a Ty Nesta Builder Supply first down for Reynolds.
Yeah, the defenders were certainly in the right position. Had they turned around for the ball, you could be looking at an interception.
So now it is 1st and 10 from the 14. This drive is being built by Ty Nesta Builder Supply with locations in Shippenville and Ty Nesta. Visit them online at tynestabuilders.us. Give is to Wagner. He slips and is dragging defenders. And he's down inside the 10, looks like the 8. So that'll be a 6-yard pickup for Wagner. And the Raiders have entered the Pizza Hut red zone. It's time to order a fresh hot pizza at Pizza Hut, where no one outpizzas the Hut. Order online now at pizzahut.com. 2nd and 4 now from the 8. Opening possession. And the give is to McLaughlin. He's trying to turn the corner. He spun away from Bauer, but then was taken down by a pair of Knights, Garrett Jensen in on the stop. So it will be the 3rd Luton's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning 3rd down for Reynolds on this drive. And certainly 4 down territory here at the Eisenhower 8.
Yeah, I think you just try to go with Wagner here.
Wagner and McLaughlin flanking McCloskey, and he tried to get Eisenhower to jump. There is a flag, and this one is going to be against the Knights. And that is offside against Eisenhower.
Now, that's not going to be a first down because it's only half the distance, and I don't believe that's going to give Reynolds enough for a first down, but it will make it a much more makeable 3rd down.
And we're going to get a timeout called here by the officials as there is an injured Knight down on the ground. Can't see who that is, but while they tend to him, we will take a quick break as well. This is the District 10 Class 1A Football Championship on the YDL Sports Network, powered by the Eisenhower Football Boosters.
Ready to break into a rewarding career? Elwood National Forge can help. Elwood National Forge produces critical defense-rated parts to all branches of the United States military, meaning each day our employees are doing their part to support the men and women protecting our country. With multiple positions currently available and several career paths to choose from, Elwood National Forge offers on-site and on-the-job training, competitive pay and benefits, including 401k and insurance that start the date of hire, paid time off, and long-term job security. We'd love to support you in building a career. To learn more about becoming part of the Elwood National Forge family, visit enfjobs.com.
Golfing at one of the prettiest golf courses around is what you get when you play around at Hunter Station Golf Club just outside of Tonesta. Located in the Allegheny Mountains with a spectacular view of the Allegheny River, Hunter Station offers something for everyone. The rolling hills of the front nine, coupled with a back nine situated along the banks of the Allegheny River, create some of the best views in all of northwestern PA. And when you're done with your round, enjoy a delicious meal or a cold drink in our restaurant and bar. Looking for a place to stay? Hunter Station has you covered there too with play and stay packages. Find out more at hunterstation.com.
first drive for Reynolds.
Icing, Screen Printing and Embroidery, located at 2043 Pennsylvania Avenue East in Warren. We offer screen printing and embroidery on apparel as well as graphic design, web design, photography, and custom frames, and specialize in youth fundraisers. We also offer photography services and custom frames. Check out our Icebox stores online at icyinc.com or give us a call at 814-688-0034. Let's meet, drink coffee, and design some cool shirts. Be cool, wear Icy.
We are back here at Carter Field in Titusville, and that was Mike Beaver down for the Knights, getting some help off the field right now. And if he's got to miss extended time, that's a huge loss defensively for Eisenhower right now, especially as they're facing a 1st and goal for Reynolds after that neutral zone infraction from the 4.
Yeah, Beaver has 4.5 sacks on the year, but more than that, he has been involved in a lot of these tackles for loss that Eisenhower's gotten throughout the year and a huge part of the defense.
First down they give to McLaughlin. He's breaking tackles, but not going to get to the end zone. Got down to the 3. Will bring up a 2nd down and goal. Actually make that the 2. And a bit surprising, Cody, Reynolds has kind of stuck with McLaughlin here in the early going.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious why. There's always, details and information we learn after the fact.
As McCloskey has both Wagner and McLaughlin with him. And McCloskey's going to keep it himself, and he's trying to plow his way forward, and he he lost the football, and Eisenhower's got it. What a huge turn of events. McCloskey lunging for the end zone, and the Knights poke the ball away and come up with the fumble recovery.
And that, we talked about it before the game. Those are the things that Eisenhower is going to have to do to pull off a win today is take advantage of opportunities. When Jalen Wagner has the ball, those opportunities are going to be slim. These other guys who have the ball, those are the ones you're going to have to try to strip the ball from, force fumbles, force turnovers.
And they recovered the ball in the end zone, so they'll get it at the 20 for their first possession of the game. That Reynolds drive took nearly 6 minutes off the clock. Pascuzzi under center, and he's given to Bauer off left tackle. And Bauer's going to be out to the, looks like the 26, 6-yard pickup here on first down. We'll bring up a 2nd down and 4 for the Knights.
He had 44 carries, 338 yards rushing. You look at him.
Actually, give him 7 on that carry. 2nd and 3 at the 27. And they send Bunk in motion.
Second and relatively short here. The Knights moving
and give to Bauer off left tackle again. Bauer turns the corner, and he's out across the 35 for a Ty Nesta Builder Supply first down for Eisenhower. And they're going to spot him down at the 38.
Yeah, it's almost like the old
Benji Bauer's first couple of runs here looking like he did in the second half last week after Eisenhower's running game started rolling. He's running very aggressive, elusive.
All right, the sun has popped out here.
So first down from the Eisenhower 38 for the Knights, trying to capitalize on that fumble recovery. Pascuzzi gives to Bauer again, and this time he's going to be hit and stopped for a loss. I saw Wagner was one of the tacklers in there, along with number 63, Colton Wilkinson. It'll be a loss of 2 on the play.
Yeah, and this is where Eisenhower's going to have to mix it up. They can't rely just on Benji Bauer. They're going to have to do some play action, some rollouts, something to get this defense where they can't overcommit to the run.
So 2nd down and 12 here from the 36. And Pascuzzi gives to Bauer. He's going to try the right side this time. He tried to cut and slipped, and that's where those field conditions come in. McLaughlin's going to get credited with the stop there, but you could see Bauer just lost his feet as he tried to plant and cut inside.
Yeah, and I don't think it wasn't a run where he was going to break loose for 20 yards, but he certainly, I think, could have made it up to about the 45-yard line before he met other defenders. But yeah, these field conditions, don't let the sunshine fool you. It is slick out there.
So that brings up a 3rd and 11. When you get backed up on 3rd and long, call Luton's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning to get you moving again. Visit them online at lutonsplumbing.com. And Pascuzzi fakes, under pressure, steps, avoids. Pascuzzi still looking downfield, looking for somebody. And he's going to get caught and pushed out of bounds.
And you got to give credit to Pascuzzi there, though, because he got out of a bad situation, then kind of ran into another bad situation, got out of that, and receivers just couldn't get open. And you'd hope he'd throw the ball away there, but I can't blame the guy. He did a heck of a job on that play.
Does bring up a 4th down and a punting situation here with just over 3 minutes to go here in the Elwood National Forge first quarter. Bauer is back to punt. High snap. Bauer corrals it, gets the kick away. And that's a big kick and takes an Eisenhower bounce. Still going. Can the Knights stop it? They do inside the 5.
Wow.
What a kick by Benji Bauer.
And that is one of those things that we're talking about where these other facets of the Knights game are going to have to step up. And that was it. Granted, it was still Benji Bauer, but it was punter Benji Bauer.
Man, you talk about flipping the field, though. My goodness. Reynolds is going to start this drive at their own 4. Do want to let you know our first quarter this afternoon brought to you by Elwood National Forge. It's never too soon nor too late to set another goal or dream another dream. If now is the time for you, Elwood National Forge can help with multiple positions available, several career paths to choose from. Elwood National Forge offers on-site and on-the-job training, competitive pay, and benefits, including 401k insurance that start the date of hire, pay time off, and long-term job security. Visit enfjobs.com. And the give is to Wagner right up the middle, and not much there. And again, I believe Venata, one of the guys in on that stop, along with Connor Younger. And the Knights got to be careful there. You like the intensity that they're playing with defensively, but it looked like they maybe gave Wagner a little extra push. And you want to be careful you don't draw a penalty flag there.
It's such a fine line between being aggressive and being over-aggressive.
2nd down and 8, so 2-yard pickup for Wagner. Out to the 6, and they're going to give to him. He's going to try the left side. He cuts back inside, and then is hit and stopped. Short of the 10. Looks like he's maybe at the 9-yard line. So that will bring up a Luton's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning 3rd down, and looks like 5.
Running game very well.
So another 3rd down coming up here for the Raiders. Have been successful to this point on 3rd down. And they respot the ball.
Field position battle will go strongly in favor of Eisenhower. This game is scoreless. Reynolds on their 2nd offensive drive.
And the give is to Wagner, and he's going to get hit. He spins away, and he's going to be close. He's out over the 10. They'll see where they stop his progress, but he is short. It's a 4th down. A big 3rd down stop for the Knights. And they mark Wagner down at the 11.
But it's a punting situation here for Reynolds.
4th and 2 coming up for the Raiders. A punting situation. And Pascuzzi's going to be back to receive the punt as the Raiders run a player on late. Unique punt formation here for Reynolds as they've got the entire field spread out. McLaughlin in the end zone gets the kick away. I think it might have been hit.
And that
the ball was tipped. And Eisenhower is going to have fantastic field position, going to start this drive at the Reynolds 32. But there is a flag down on the far side of the field, and illegal procedure against the Raiders is declined.
That's going to be a 21-yard punt, no return, obviously. But Eisenhower.
And so again, the Knights defense comes up with a stop when they need it. Can the offense take advantage?
I don't see why not, Brian. I mean, they look to be on the right track. I think if they mix it up a little bit and don't just rely on Benji Bauer on this series, they could put the ball in the end zone. Maybe look for Chris Monk here on first down.
One of the things that's been successful, too, is Tucker Lindell right up the middle. So we'll see if they turn to him on this drive. 1st and 10 from the Reynolds 32. Pascuzzi pitches to Bauer. And he's going to be hit and dropped for a big loss. And that was a big defensive play by Travis Blackburn. And you saw it looked like Lindell had him blocked up, and Bauer went outside when he should have gone inside. And it ends up with a loss of 8 yards. 2nd down and 18.
Yeah, but that's why they're going to have to try to run something other than Benji Bauer, because these guys watch film. They know just as much as we know. That's their go-to guy.
As we hit about 30 seconds to go here in the Elwood National Forge first quarter, it's 2nd down and 18. And the give is to Ekstrom on the counter. Keegan Ekstrom has some open field, and he tried to cut back inside. McLaughlin was there. If he'd have stayed to the sideline, that one might have gone. But he does get the lost yardage back and going to make it a 3rd and manageable. But that is going to be the final play of the Elwood National Forge first quarter. After 1 quarter of play here at Carter Field in Titusville, we are scoreless. This is the District 10 Class 1A Football Championship on the YDL Sports Network, powered by the Eisenhower Football Boosters.
Ready to break into a rewarding career? Elwood National Forge can help. Elwood National Forge produces critical defense-rated parts to all branches of the United States military, meaning each day our employees are doing their part to support the men and women protecting our country. With multiple positions currently available and several career paths to choose from, Elwood National Forge offers on-site and on-the-job training, competitive pay and benefits, including 401k and insurance that start the date of hire, paid time off, and long-term job security. We'd love to support you in building a career. To learn more about becoming part of the Elwood National Forge family, visit enfjobs.com.
What's the recipe for surprising the kids, treating yourself, and ditching dish duty? You're looking at it. Order your Pizza Hut faves like original pan, original stuffed crust, and more at pizzahut.com. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Just about set to start the second quarter from Carter Field here in Titusville on this District 10 Class 1A Football Championship on the YDL Sports Network. Eisenhower has a 3rd down and 5 from the Reynolds 27, and the Raiders jump.
Not too often you see a guy get pushed over on a jump like that.
We'll see what they mark off. It was 3rd and 5. That could be enough for a free first down for the Knights. And it is. They are moving the chains. So that is a Ty Nesta Builder Supply first down for the Knights.
That's huge. I think it was already 4-down territory, too.
And Pascuzzi gives to Bauer. Off left side, he picks his way through, and he's brought down inside the 15. Nate Miller on the stop. And if he doesn't hang on, Bauer had some open field in front of him. But that was a 9-yard carry on first down, brings up a 2nd and 1 from the 13.
No moving in the chains by Reynolds and a very poor, partially blocked punt by the Raiders. The Knights got it deep in Raider territory.
Curious to see if Eisenhower goes corner. They've ran that play multiple times this year, or if they just stick with the run game.
2nd down and 1. Ekstrom in motion. The give is to Lindell right up the gut. He's got the first down, stays on his feet. Tucker Lindell plows his way. He's in for the score. It's a Peppermill touchdown for Tucker Lindell. And you can score yourself and your family a touchdown with a great family meal at the Peppermill. Stop in at 1505 Pennsylvania Avenue East in Warren or call 814-723-4240 for takeout.
Brian, you called that. You mentioned at the start of this series that Tucker Lindell could be a force down here, and when they called his number, he was not going down.
Cole Kellogg on to attempt the extra point. High snap, kick is up, and it is good for Cole Kellogg. So with just over 11 minutes to play here in the Rocket Detailing and Auto Service second quarter, it is Eisenhower 7, Reynolds 0. We'll be right back with more on the YDL Sports Network.
Rocket Detailing and Auto Service can help get you and your vehicle ready for the winter elements. Winter is coming, and a ceramic coating or coat of wax can help maintain the look of your vehicle through the worst of it. We also offer competitive rates on oil changes and tires. Check out our services and book an appointment online at rocketdetails.com. Rocket Detailing and Auto Service is located next to the movie theater in North Warren.
A 13-yard run by Tucker Lindell, and the Cole Kellogg extra point has Eisenhower in front of Reynolds 7-0 here, early part of the Rocket Detailing and Auto Service second quarter. And Rocket Detailing and Auto Service can help get you and your vehicle ready for the winter elements. Winter's coming, and a ceramic coating or coat of wax can help maintain the look of your vehicle through the worst of it. We also offer competitive rates on oil changes and tires. Check out our services and book an appointment online at rocketdetails.com, located next to the movie theater in North Warren.
Not a lot of big stats yet. Eisenhower has 9 rushes for 41 yards. They're averaging 4.6 yards per carry.
Kellogg to kick, and he does kick it deep, and Wagner has trouble with it. He goes back to pick it up, evades a tackle, and then is going to be brought down right across the 25 to the 27-yard line.
I like that. We've seen them do the squib kick, and, in the last several games, we've seen that squib kick kind of not work out for Eisenhower. They've given their opposing team good field position. Against Cambridge Springs, I think that it might have backfired a couple of times. That was a good decision. Now they've got them again. They've got them pinned a little deep in their side of the field.
And some folks back in Warren County wanted to wish the Knights good luck. Wilcox Brothers True Value want to congratulate the Eisenhower Knights on a terrific season. Wish them good luck in today's championship game. As does Grant Lumber wants to wish the Knights best of luck in today's championship game. Go Knights. 1st and 10 for the Raiders from their own 26. And the give is to Wagner and Lindell. Good open field tackle right there. Short gain. Be about 2nd down and 8. The family of J.J. Darr, number 55, wants to wish the Knights good luck this afternoon. And the Targeted Pet Treats team wants to wish the Knights good luck in today's championship game. Go Knights.
So far, Eisenhower has held Jalen Wagner to 23 yards on 8 carries. He's under 3 yards a carry.
2nd down and 8. And they go twins to each side. McCloskey back to pass, throws, and it is caught. And then breaking a tackle is Andrew McCloskey. The ball comes loose, but it looks like Reynolds was able to fall on it. And Tino Gentili was trailing the play and fell on the football to keep it in Reynolds' possession, but the second fumble already of the game for the Raiders. They're fortunate to recover that one, and it brings up a tie nested Builder Supply 1st down for Reynolds near midfield at the 48. So again, they go twins. Wagner, the sidecar to McCloskey's left, and there's movement. It is a false start against the Raiders.
15 yards and penalties so far for Reynolds.
Now, Reynolds did have McLaughlin in motion, so whatever motion there was had to be.
So a 5-yard loss will make it 1st and 15.
But that's going to move it back 5 yards, 1st and 15.
And Reynolds with the passing attack, that is one area where they can take advantage of the Eisenhower's defense. They've struggled against the pass in some previous games.
So 1st down and 15 now for the Raiders. McLaughlin in motion, and they're going to – no, McCloskey's going to keep it up the middle. And he gets across midfield to the Eisenhower 47. So a big gain there on 1st down. We'll bring up a 2nd down and 5. It looks like a 10-yard pickup there for McCloskey on the keeper.
Nobody was there. And, I think it was the safety come up and made that hit.
All right,
so 2nd down and 5 from the Eisenhower 47 now for the Raiders. They go trips right. And the give is to Wagner up the middle, and he's got space now. And Wagner's going to have a tie nested Builder Supply 1st down across the Eisenhower 40 to the 37. And this drive is being built by Ty Nesta Builder Supply with locations in Shippenville and Ty Nesta. Visit them online at tynestabuilders.us. Trips left now for the Raiders, and the give is to Wagner again. Stumbles a little bit as he crosses the line of scrimmage. Falls forward for a gain of, looks like 2 to the 35.
They're spreading, Reynolds is spreading out Eisenhower's defense right now, which is allowing Wagner a little bit of room to maneuver there when he gets to the line of scrimmage and right around the linebacker area.
So 2nd down and 8. And they flip the formation, go trips right now. And Wagner to the right of McCloskey. McCloskey going to pass, looking, rolls left, fires over the head of Gabriel Minjarez. And it looked like McCloskey was throwing that ball away more than trying to get a reception there. And that will bring up a 3rd down and 8 when you get backed up on 3rd and long, called Luton's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning to get you moving again. Visit them online at lutonsplumbing.com.
Yeah, so this is interesting, Brian. If they get no gain here, I would say this isn't 4-down territory. But if they pick up 5 yards, my whole mindset changes. So if they get to around the 30-yard line, I think they go for it. If they don't, I'm not sure you do.
So they go trips right. Wagner, the lone back, they're going to give to Wagner up the middle. He breaks some tackles, and Wagner's still on his feet. Breaks another tackle. Jalen Wagner stays not in bound. Where are they going to mark him? Gets down to the 2, a 33-yard gain for Jalen Wagner on 3rd and 8. He nearly broke that one for a big touchdown. But for the 2nd time in this game, the Raiders are down inside the Eisenhower 5. They fumbled it away the last time on a McCloskey keeper. Trying to tie the game here. 1st and goal from the 2.
This time they need to punch it into the end zone with a chance to
and it is Wagner to McCloskey's right.
And the Raiders with 1st and goal at the 2.
Send McLaughlin in motion, and McCloskey's going to keep it again, and this time he is in for the Peppermill touchdown.
A little bit of redemption for Braden McCloskey.
So the Raiders respond to the Eisenhower touchdown drive with a touchdown drive of their own. The big 33-yard run from Wagner set it up. McCloskey takes it in from 2. They are an extra point away from tying this game.
All right, so Novak, goalpost to our right.
And the kick is no good. Well short, so 7:12 to go here in the Rocket Detailing and Auto Service 2nd quarter. And Eisenhower clinging to a 1-point lead, 7-6. And, Cody, I know you and Andy talked a little bit about that great steak sandwich that they have over at Peppermill last week. Well, guess what? Today is barbecue rib day. You get a large for $14.95, a small for $10.95. It comes with 2 sides and a roll. And let me tell you, this is an afternoon game. Everybody who came down here from Warren County, on your way back home, why don't you swing by the east end of town, stop in at Peppermill, get yourself some barbecue ribs. If you're looking for something maybe a little more hearty after the game, it's a little cold outside. They also have a homemade chicken and biscuits with a side for $8.95, and that's available every Saturday, as are the barbecue ribs. So stop down to our friends at the Peppermill and get some ribs, get some chicken and biscuits, whatever suits your fancy here on this chilly November Saturday.
The Eisenhower side is pretty packed, so there's no excuses. You can fill that restaurant right up.
And it will be Nate Miller kicking off for the Raiders. Ekstrom back deep to receive for the Knights. Short kick, bounces, and is taken at the 30. Had a little trouble there fielding that kick, but the Knights pick it up and
give some credit to Keegan Ekstrom for getting on that. It was touched originally by another player and kind of watched it roll by him. Ekstrom, he knew right what to do. He picked it up, got a few yards.
Well, that kick had some spin on it.
Yeah.
That ball, you see the players spin the ball on its end, and that's the way that kick came off. But Ekstrom, like you said, to his credit, Johnny on the spot picked it up, and for somebody who's had some trouble fielding some special teams kicks, good for Ekstrom to get that one up. 1st and 10 for the Knights from their own 35. Pascuzzi gives to Bauer. He turns the corner. Bauer's got some space. Benji Bauer in the open field. He's going to go. Benji Bauer, 65 yards for the Peppermill touchdown.
And just like that, the Eisenhower Knights add to their lead.
And what a response from the Knights. This was almost the exact opposite of what we've seen in previous seasons when the Knights would make a good play and then bang, Reynolds would come back with a long run or pass play. And this time it is Eisenhower and it's Benji Bauer, 65 yards.
And completely contradictory of we were discussing before we went on the air about Eisenhower having to have long drives, easy clock. I guess I was wrong.
And Kellogg's kick is good. It was nearly blocked, but he does squeeze it just over the crossbar. And with 6:58 to go in the Rocket Detailing and Auto Service second quarter, it is Eisenhower 14, Reynolds 6. We'll be back with more of the District 1 Class 1A Championship on the YDL Sports Network, powered by the Eisenhower Football Boosters. Back here at Carter Field in Titusville for the District 10 Class 1A Championship. Brian Hagberg and Cody Elms with you here for the YDL Sports Network. And Benji Bauer with a 65-yard touchdown run has extended the Eisenhower lead to 14-6 here, just a tick under 7 minutes to go in the Rocket Detailing and Auto Service second quarter.
7 carries, 84 yards, averaging 12.0 yards per carry now after that big 65-yarder.
65.
Eisenhower has 160 yards on the ground off of just 10 carries today.
And Kellogg to kick. We've seen him squib one and kick one deep. We'll see what he does here. He kicks this one deep, and Wagner lets it bounce. He picks it up at the 10. Ekstrom right there on him. He spins away from that tackle, still on his feet, and then ran into his own man and gets out across the 25 to the 27.
That was a good return by Wagner. Eisenhower was right on it, and he was able to kind of juke and jive his way around some of the quicker defenders for Eisenhower and not get pinned inside his inside his own 15-yard line.
Yeah, Ekstrom was the first guy there with him, and Wagner was able to just spin away from that tackle and pick up some extra yards. Makes it a 1st and 10 from the 27. Raiders trailing by 8 here in the Rocket Detailing and Auto Service second quarter. McCloskey has Wagner with him in the backfield, and the give is to Wagner. And he drags a defender with him down. That was Cameron Jacobzak on the stop, and he went for a little ride with Jalen Wagner out to the 32, a 5-yard pickup. And you can see Wagner's hunched over.
You know, and on that first series, they mixed it up with the running backs. It's certainly something to watch.
And they do give to Wagner again. He's trying to pick his way through the line. Venata and Younger, and then Bunk comes over to help, and Chambers cleans it up, but he's going to be close to the first down yardage. He'll bring up a Luton's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning 3rd down and 2. From the 35.
Puts Wagner up to 76 yards. The Raiders are up over 100 yards now with 105 yards on the ground.
So 3rd down and 2. Raiders come out, trips to the left. Wagner, the sidecar to McCloskey's right. It is P.J. Winkle, the lone receiver, but they give to Wagner right up the gut, and he's going to reach forward for the Ty Nesta Builder Supply 1st down. It looks like a 3-yard pickup, actually. And they got just enough to get the first down.
nice individual.
And you talked about Eisenhower needing to get some of these long sustained drives. To this point, it's been Reynolds who's had ball control for most of this first half.
Yeah, it has, and they really haven't had, other than Wagner's touchdown on the last series, haven't had the production from it.
And Wagner gets it, trying to go off right tackle, and a host of Knights there to bring him down.
McCloskey's touchdown. Wagner was 2 yards.
Yeah. And that's going to be looks like a 2-yard gain for Wagner on that carry. And he's holding his midsection. You wonder if he's just taking a couple of hits there and maybe has the wind knocked out of him. And give credit to him. I mean, you can see him bent over, as they're coming up to the line, and he's grabbed his midsection after that play. So keep an eye on Jalen Wagner if he's dealing with some sort of, core injury, or if he's just got the wind knocked out of him. That could be a big factor here as this game progresses. And they give to Wagner again, this time off left tackle. He's trying to string it out and not going to get there. Caleb Penley set the edge and didn't let Wagner go.
And that's that intelligence on defense that we were talking about. These guys, they know their role. They're not trying to overcompensate for anybody else or play hero. They play their position. They play their position to the best of their abilities, and they're disciplined, and that's the payoff.
So this will bring up a 3rd and 8. And when you get backed up on 3rd and long, call Luton's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning to get you moving again. Visit them online at lutonsplumbing.com. And again, another 3rd down situation for Reynolds. They've been able to convert with success so far. They're going to empty the backfield this time for McCloskey. And he's back to pass. Under pressure, fires down the sideline for McLaughlin. He lays out but can't get it over his head.
And I understand wanting to go for the gusto there, but you're 3rd and 8. You're looking to get the first down. That's all you need to get at that point. You don't need to have that big play. If it's wide open, certainly take it. But on a position like that where you got 8 yards to go, you're looking for something across the middle would be the ideal placement of the ball.
Man, I believe that was Ryan Chambers in coverage and was step with McLaughlin. That's what they need if they're going to slow down this Reynolds offense. Raiders 4th and 8, set to punt. It's McLaughlin to kick. And nearly blocked again. He's bumped, and the flag's going to come out. Now we'll see if that's going to be a roughing or running into.
That's where that aggressiveness we've talked about.
I mean, they went for the block, and it was the player turned to try to avoid, but caught him with his back. And it is a running into a kicker. So it is still 4th down, just a 5-yarder. We'll see what the decision is here from Josh Mullen, the Raiders. I mean, that was a great punt. Got down inside the 20. They're marking it at the 16. And so we'll see. So it is running into the kicker. And that penalty is declined. So the Raiders are going to take the yardage.
I think that was a smart thing to do.
Smart play, because that punt was nearly blocked again. And when you get off a good kick like that and pin the other team down inside the 20, when you're not going to get the first down.
Exactly. And if you're not going to get the first down, or you're not going to go for it on 4th down, a lot of bad things can happen.
So Eisenhower will take over, leading 14-6 here. 3:20 to go in the Rocket Detailing and Auto Service 2nd quarter. And something to keep in mind, you talked about Eisenhower trying to get some long drives. If they put one together here and score, they get the ball to start the second half too.
To your credit, you said that was a smart decision before the game started. So
1st and 10 from the 16, but they got to do something with this possession first before we get to talking about the second half. And Pascuzzi pitches to Bauer, and he's going to run into traffic. He spins away from it to get some of that back. He's actually going to lose a yard on that carry.
Yeah, Reynolds
mark him down at the 15.
The Reynolds defenders there on the end were pretty disciplined, and we're all over that.
Well, that was the play he ran for 65 yards on the previous possession, so why not try it again?
Yeah.
See if they're going to stop it. But it brings up a 2nd down and 11 as we're under 3 minutes to go here in the first half of this District 10 Class 1A football championship. Pascuzzi under center, and they're going to try to give that counter to Ekstrom, and Reynolds was all over it.
So 2 plays that we've seen Eisenhower have some success on, they've ran back to back, and the Raiders defense has clearly adjusted, and they're reading that play now.
Blackburn and Wilkinson were both all over that play. It's going to be a 5-yard loss for Ekstrom there, down to the 10, and brings up a 3rd down and 16. When you get backed up on 3rd and long, call Luton's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, get you moving again. I'll bet you even know this, Cody. You can go visit them online at lutonsplumbing.com.
I do. By now? Yeah, I do.
So a big 3rd and 16 coming up here. So we are under 2 minutes to go, and there is going to be a timeout taken by Reynolds. That's an Icy Ink timeout. Let's meet, drink coffee, and design some cool shirts. You can be cool, wear Icy. Visit them online at icyink.com. We'll be right back on the YDL Sports Network.
Icy Ink Screen Printing and Embroidery, located at 2043 Pennsylvania Avenue East in Warren. We offer screen printing and embroidery on apparel, as well as graphic design, web design, photography, and custom frames, and specialize in youth fundraisers. We also offer photography services and custom frames. Check out our Icebox stores online at icyink.com or give us a call at 814-688-0034. Let's meet, drink coffee, and design some cool shirts. Be cool, wear Icy.
And we're back here at Carter Field in Titusville. Reynolds on this timeout has really backed up Eisenhower. This drive started at the 16, and the Knights are now facing a 3rd down and 16 from the 10 after 2 running plays went for a loss. And Reynolds looking to get the ball back here before halftime as we're under 2 minutes to go. That was their first time out of the half, first taken by either team. But a big 3rd down here, and Pascuzzi's going to go in the gun. Trips to the left. And Pascuzzi back to pass, has some time, now steps up, and he throws. He's got a man to scare Jensen, and it's intercepted by McLaughlin. What a play by Hayden McLaughlin. Just went up above Jensen and took it away.
You know, Brian, we were talking about it there on the break, how you just play it safe, go with a run, or maybe a screen if you want to pass it. And that's why. Now you've given the momentum to Reynolds. They're in good field position. And, yeah, you're getting the ball back. If you're Eisenhower, you're getting the ball back after the half. But I would rather get the ball back with a touchdown lead than maybe just a point or 2.
So 1st down from the Eisenhower 39 for Reynolds, trailing 14-6, 1:48 to play. And the give is to Wagner. He's going to turn the corner. Jalen Wagner's gone. 39 yards for the Peppermill touchdown. Jalen Wagner turns the interception into points for the Raiders. So after the McLaughlin interception, they give it to Wagner. He turns the corner and sprints 39 yards for the Raiders touchdown. And I imagine they're going to go for 2 here as it's 14-12 right now.
That puts Jalen Wagner over 100 yards, 17 carries, 119 yards for today here in the first half.
And we're going to get an Icy Ink timeout from Eisenhower. And we'll take a quick break while they take that timeout. This is the District 10 Class 1A Championship on the YDL Sports Network.
Ready to break into a rewarding career? Elwood National Forge can help. Elwood National Forge produces critical defense-rated parts to all branches of the United States military, meaning each day our employees are doing their part to support the men and women protecting our country. With multiple positions currently available and several career paths to choose from, Elwood National Forge offers on-site and on-the-job training, competitive pay and benefits, including 401k and insurance that start the date of hire, paid time off, and long-term job security. We'd love to support you in building a career. To learn more about becoming part of the Elwood National Forge family, visit enfjobs.com.
So Jalen Wagner with a 39-yard touchdown run has Reynolds within a 2-point conversion of tying this game up. 1:40 to go in the first half. McCloskey's going to empty the backfield here on the conversion. And a man in motion, and McCloskey's going to keep it himself, and he's pulling. Does he get in? He does. They call him in. Late call by the officials, but that extra push at the very end was enough to get him across the goal line, and we are tied up here 14 apiece late in the second quarter of this District 10 Class 1A championship.
Yeah, so now if you're Eisenhower and you've given up your lead because of a turnover, which then turned into the Jalen Wagner touchdown, the worst thing you can do right now is panic. You got a $1:41 to go. You got a couple of timeouts. Run your offense like you were running it. If you get a big break, a big run, go for the touchdown. But otherwise, I think that you go into the half content with the tie as opposed to risking something and potentially giving up another score before the half.
So Reynolds going to kick off here, and we'll see they had a little squib kick, had some funky spin on that kick. The last time was nearly disastrous for Eisenhower receiving, and we will see here what Miller does with this kickoff.
I think he tried to pin him deep. I mean, under 2 minutes to go.
Eisenhower has 2 timeouts left, and it is a short kick, and it's taken at the 30 by Bauer. And Bauer cuts upfield. Still on his feet. Benji Bauer gets out to the 40.
And Bauer will return it to the 40-yard line. So here's the situation.
And so solid field position here for Eisenhower to start this drive. They've got 2 timeouts. You can use the middle of the field. You don't have to throw.
No,
and again, if you start getting into trouble, maybe you intentionally run to try to kill some clock, knowing you're going to get the ball back to start the second half.
Yeah, I just don't think you take the risk like they did on third down on that last series. I think you play conservative. I mean, Bauer broke a 65-yard run on a conservative carry, so certainly possible to get a big gain.
They come out in the eye, and the give is to Lindell up the middle, and only about a yard there. And give him a 1-yard pickup there. We'll bring up a 2nd down and 9. And Eisenhower not stopping the clock.
I agree with that. God forbid you turn the ball over right now. You want as little time on the clock as possible.
Pascuzzi in the gun, has trips right. Back to pass. He's looking. He's got Jacobzak wide open in the flat. There's a flag. Pascuzzi trying to direct traffic, and he's going to get hit and dropped for a loss, a big loss there. And there is a flag down. That looks like it's in the area of holding. Or are they going to call hands to the face? I thought maybe was the signal.
If I'm Josh Small, if that goes against Eisenhower, I'd probably decline that.
Personal foul. Face mask against Reynolds. Wow.
Huge.
What a huge penalty. So Eisenhower's going to get away with one there based on the Reynolds penalty. And Pascuzzi was trying to tell Jacobzak to go deep, go deep, go deep. And he just ran out of real estate, needed to get rid of that ball.
Yeah, if your receiver doesn't get that signal on your first attempt of trying to communicate with him, your job as a quarterback is to get rid of the ball. You can't take that sack that far back.
So that wipes out basically the sack yardage and gives Eisenhower an extra yard. It's 2nd down and 8. And Pascuzzi fakes to Bauer. He's going to keep it himself. Has some space, nearly broke free from the tackle of Kevin Malgiri. But it will bring up a Luton's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning 3rd down and looks like 2 for the Knights. They're back to the line quickly as we approach 30 seconds to go. Pascuzzi has it, rolls right, looking, steps up, and he's going to get hit and drop for a loss. And again, Pascuzzi just holding the ball.
Yeah, it's he's trying to make a play, and I get it. He wants to make that big play, but you have to play smart as well. A little bit of defense on offense, so to speak, because right now you're looking at 4th and 6 and 24 seconds to go, where even if he takes the sack or throws it away or takes the sack a little bit closer or tries to run with it, you're not looking at such a big loss. Certainly 4th and a couple is far easier than 4th and 6.
And that was an Icy Ink timeout taken by Reynolds. They have 1 left here as we have just a tick under 25 seconds to play here in the first half. Bauer will be back in punt formation. Reynolds is playing it safe, though, right now. Bauer's got it, and he does kick it away, and we've got stoppage. There's a flag down on the far side of the field. They're going to call an illegal procedure against Eisenhower, so that's going to back him up 5. But before that, we have a dead ball, false start on the Knights. Raiders and so that was an interesting, obviously if you're Reynolds, you're playing against the fake, but they didn't have anybody back there. You wonder if they were just going to be content to take that into halftime with a tie ball game.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. I almost think that they maybe thought that Eisenhower was going to fake it there.
And they put 24 seconds back on the clock because of the pre-snap foul. Low snap, and Bauer does get the kick away. It's going to take an Eisenhower bounce. McLaughlin watching it. Feigns like he's going to pick it up, and it still rolls and goes down to the 22. So with 14 seconds to go here in the half, we'll see if Reynolds wants to try to do something or just go into the lead tie or go into the half tied.
I think that you got to play it safe here. Reynolds hasn't had the greatest first half. It's clearly not as dominant as they're used to. I think you play it safe, go into the second half, brand new ball game.
And Eisenhower's playing a prevent here. And it is a handoff to Wagner on off left tackle. He picks up a block. Tucker Lindell just got blown up, and he cuts back. Bauer trying to chase him down. He dives, not going to get there, but Wagner gets out of bounds with 3.5 seconds to play. And man, if Bauer doesn't have the speed that he does, Wagner reversing field might have had a whole lot of green in front of him.
Yeah, an intelligent play by Wagner to run out of bounds. Give Reynolds an opportunity to run one more play here with 3.5 seconds.
I mean, the second down and 2 down and distance doesn't really matter at this point with 3.5 seconds to go. This is going to be the last play of the half, barring some kind of penalty. And they give to Wagner again, trying to that left side, and he escapes one tackle, and then Caleb Penley's there to hit him, and that will do it for the first half here from Carter Field in Titusville. And we are tied in this District 10 Class 1A football championship. Eisenhower and Reynolds, 14 apiece. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back with the Pizza Huts of Grove City and Clarion halftime show on the YDL Sports Network.
Ready to break into a rewarding career? Elwood National Forge can help. Elwood National Forge produces critical defense-rated parts to all branches of the United States military, meaning each day our employees are doing their part to support the men and women protecting our country. With multiple positions currently available and several career paths to choose from, Elwood National Forge offers on-site and on-the-job training, competitive pay and benefits, including 401k and insurance that start the date of hire, paid time off, and long-term job security. We'd love to support you in building a career. To learn more about becoming part of the Elwood National Forge family, visit enfjobs.com.
With locations in Chippenville and Tionesta, Tionesta Builder Supply is a full-service home improvement center specializing in everything you need to build or remodel your home. From power tools and accessories to paint and sundries and general hardware merchandise, Tionesta Builders has everything you need to get your project done quickly. Find out more at tionestabuilders.us and like them on Facebook.
Looking for a place to hone your skills in the off-season? How about just a friendly pickup game, or even a new league to join? Then head to the Hub at PF in Russell. An all-weather athletic facility, the Hub has everything you need to get your game on, from basketball and volleyball courts to indoor batting cages. And more than just an athletic facility, the Hub also plays host to special events like concerts and worship services. The Hub is a proud supporter of local athletes and wants to thank the community for all its support over the last 2 years.
Icing, Screen Printing and Embroidery, located at 2043 Pennsylvania Avenue East in Warren. We offer screen printing and embroidery on apparel as well as graphic design, web design, photography, and custom frames, and specialize in youth fundraisers. We also offer photography services and custom frames. Check out our Icebox stores online at icyinc.com or give us a call at 814-688-0034. Let's meet, drink coffee, and design some cool shirts. Be cool, wear icy.
Hey, this is Joe.
And this is Sketty.
And we're the hosts of the Beehive Sports Podcast. Do you like uncut looks into all things sports?
If you said yes, then this is a sports show for you.
Live weekly shows broadcasted on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, covering everything from local sports in northwestern Pennsylvania all the way to the pros.
Not to mention the hottest takes you will ever hear. Follow us on all social media platforms and tune into episodes today.
Hi, Chris Rossetti here from D9and10sports.com. I wanted to take a second to tell you about one of the best restaurants in all of Western Pennsylvania, the Allegheny Grill in Foxburg, PA. With indoor and outdoor dining, you can enjoy prime rib all weekend long, or perhaps it is their full wings served on Thursday wing nights that you're after. From celebrating a special occasion to hanging out with family and friends, the Allegheny Grill in Foxburg is the place to be. As they like to say, you come for the food and you stay for the view. Reserve your table today at AlleghenyGrill.com.
Rocket Detailing and Auto Service can help get you and your vehicle ready for the winter elements. Winter is coming, and a ceramic coating or coat of wax can help maintain the look of your vehicle through the worst of it. We also offer competitive rates on oil changes and tires. Check out our services and book an appointment online at rocketdetails.com. Rocket Detailing and Auto Service is located next to the movie theater in North Warren.
Ready for a few thoughts?
What's the recipe for surprising the kids, treating yourself, and ditching dish duty? You're looking at it. Order your Pizza Hut faves like original pan, original stuffed crust, and more at pizzahut.com. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Now, welcome into the Pizza Huts of Grove City and Clarion halftime show. And it's time for you to order a fresh hot pizza from Pizza Hut, where no one out-pizzas the Hut. You can order online now at pizzahut.com. Brian Hagberg and Cody Elms with you here for the YDL Sports Network at halftime of this District 10 Class 1A football championship. Eisenhower and Reynolds are tied 14 apiece. And Cody, this was a game that we said probably about 3 weeks into the season that these two teams were on a collision course. Well, here they are, and what a collision it's been through one half of football.
It has, and early on belonged to Eisenhower. They were playing at a superb level, and I can't argue with any decisions they made up until that pass on that third down in their own territory, which led to the interception, the Jalen Wagner touchdown. It just, one thing I touched on in the pregame was when Eisenhower seems to have negative things happen, they kind of domino. And that's kind of what we saw there to close out the first half. It was some poor decision-making, maybe a wrong play call, then a turnover. They got to regroup at the half and come out in the second half like they did in the first.
And aside from two big runs late in the second quarter, the nice defense did a superb job against Jalen Wagner. This was a running back last year who ran for almost 350 yards on just 10 carries against them, and they really were able to limit him through most of the first half.
Yeah, we've followed Benji Bauer all year. And we've certainly given him all his credit. And Jalen Wagner has a significant amount of yards more than Benji Bauer. I mean, he is a very, very talented running back. So for Eisenhower's defense to step up and play aggressive, play intelligent here in the first half, and more or less shut him down. You're not going to completely shut down a kid like that, but you can limit the damage. And they certainly have limited the damage, I think, far beyond probably what a lot of people's expectations were.
I compared it to some of the folks up in Warren County might be a little more familiar with Ethan Knox of Oil City, right?
Right.
Defensively, your goal is to get more of the 3, 4, 5 yard gains as opposed to those big 60, 70, 80 yard runs. Mm-hmm. If he pops one on you, he pops one on you. But you're not going to just let him do it repeatedly. Right. And that was something that Eisenhower wasn't able to do in the semifinals last year. And to this point, they have been able to do that in this first half of the District 10 championship here today.
Yeah, Jalen Wagner has he's got a couple of runs over 20 yards, and that's it. Of his 134 yards, 2 of them have been 30-plus yards, actually. And other than that, Eisenhower has limited him to 4 or 5-yard carries. Those big runs do bump up his yards per carry to 7.1, but you remove those, you're looking at more like a 4.5 to 5 yards per carry.
All right, well, let's take a look at all of our halftime stats brought to you this afternoon by the Brooks UR Ledbetter Sportsperson of the Year Award. The Brooks UR Ledbetter Sportsperson of the Year Award and accompanying scholarship are awarded to an athlete or athletes who compete in at least one full season in either District 9 or District 10 and who display qualities of being a good person, a leader, community-minded, and wanting to make a difference. You can find out more at yourdailylocal.com/BHL award.
So we'll stick with Reynolds and Jalen Wagner, who has 19 carries for 134 yards. Like I said, 7.1 yards per carry. He does have a touchdown. Braden McCloskey has just 3 carries for 13 yards, but he also has a touchdown. He does have a fumble on the day as well. Hayden McLaughlin, 2 receptions, 44 yards. McCloskey was the quarterback for both of those, so he's 2 for 4 for 44 yards. The Raiders are 26 carries, 163 yards on the ground total, and their total offensive yardage is over 200 at 207. They've ran 31 plays in the first half and had 7 first downs. They have had multiple penalties, 4 penalties for 30 yards so far. On the Eisenhower side of the ball, Benji Bauer, 8 carries, 83 yards, 10.4 yards per carry, 1 touchdown. Tucker Lindell, 2 carries for 14 yards, 7 yards per carry. And he also has a touchdown. Sean Pascuzzi is 0 for 1, and he threw that interception there late in the second quarter. The Knights have put together just 103 yards total on 16 plays. They ran half the plays as Reynolds, using up significantly less game clock as well. They have 4 first downs and a couple of penalties for 10 yards. And other than that, interception, no fumbles.
All right, those were our halftime stats. Again, brought to you by the Brooks UR Ledbetter Sportsperson of the Year Award. For more information, go to yourdailylocal.com/BHL award. Now let's take a look at our scoring summary brought to you this afternoon by Warren General Hospital. Exceptional care, exceptionally close at Warren General Hospital.
The first quarter was significantly quiet. It wasn't until the second quarter, 11 minutes and 10 seconds left to go. Tucker Lindell ran it 13 yards. Kellogg got to kick. This was after the blocked Reynolds punt, which gave Eisenhower a very good field position. There was also a defensive offsides penalty on that drive that certainly helped the Eisenhower ball movement. With 7:15 left to go, Braden McCloskey, 2-yard run. The kick was failed. That was set up with a 33-yard run by Jalen Wagner to make it 7-6. 6:59 to go. Immediately responding to that touchdown was Benji Bauer with a 65-yard run. Kellogg got the kick, and the Knights went up 14-6. And with a $1:41 left to go, Jalen Wagner with a 39-yard run. McCloskey got the 2-point conversion. That was the first play after Hayden McLaughlin intercepted Sean Pascuzzi.
All right, that was our scoring summary brought to you again by Warren General Hospital. Exceptional care, exceptionally close at Warren General Hospital. And now we're going to take a look at our out-of-town scoreboard brought to you this afternoon by Swift Kennedy and Company, the official insurance provider of Your Daily Local LLC, the parent company of YourDailyLocal.com and D910sports.com. Swift Kennedy and Company, insurance with integrity since 1921. Visit them online at swiftkennedyandco.com. So last night, over in District 9, the Class 1A championship, it was Port Allegheny 21, Brockway 14. Gators win their first District 9 championship since 2012, and they await the winner of this game in the PIAA quarterfinals next week. Date, time, and location for that game will be announced at a later time. In the District 8-9 Class 2A sub-regional, Westinghouse all over Central Clarion 44-8. Westinghouse will play the winner of tonight's District 10 Class 2A championship between Farrell and Sharpsville. That game will be at Wilmington later on this evening. In a District 6-8 Class 3A sub-regional, Central Martinsburg 35, Clearfield 6, and they will take on for the second year in a row, the Grove City Eagles, who were 42-23 winners over Slippery Rock in the District 10 Class 3A championship. And in a whale of a ball game down in State College last night, State College 57, McDowell 50. That game went to 3 overtimes. and ended after State College recovered a McDowell fumble at the 3-yard line in the third overtime. Just a heartbreaker for the Trojans last night, State College.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see scoring quite that high tonight.
I don't imagine, but you never know. Again, a halftime score last year, this game was 17-6 and ended up 56-27.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Yeah.
But that is a look at our out-of-town scoreboard. Again, also this late afternoon, evening, District 610 Class 4A Sub-Regional, Meadville takes on Juniata at Bald Eagle Area High School. That game kicks off at 5 p.m. And again, Farrell and Sharpsville for the District 10 2A Championship from Wilmington. Kickoff for that game is 7 p.m. So that was a look at our out-of-town scoreboard, again brought to you by Swift Kennedy Company, insurance with integrity since 1921. And we're going to take another quick break. We'll be back with more of the Pizza Huts of Grove City and Clarion halftime show on the YDL Sports Network.
With locations in Shippenville and Tionesta Builder Supply is a full-service home improvement center specializing in everything you need to build or remodel your home. From power tools and accessories to paint and sundries and general hardware merchandise, Tionesta Builders has everything you need to get your project done quickly. Find out more at tionestabuilders.us and like them on Facebook. Golfing at one of the prettiest golf courses around is what you get when you play around at Hunter Station Golf Club just outside of Tionesta. Located in the Allegheny Mountains with a spectacular view of the Allegheny River, Hunter Station offers something for everyone. The rolling hills of the front nine, coupled with a back nine situated along the banks of the Allegheny River, create some of the best views in all of northwestern PA. And when you're done with your round, enjoy a delicious meal or a cold drink in our restaurant and bar. Looking for a place to stay? Hunter Station has you covered there too with play and stay packages. Find out more at hunterstation.com. Hi, Chris Rossetti here from D9and10sports.com. I wanted to take a second to tell you about one of the best restaurants in all of Western Pennsylvania, the Allegheny Grill in Foxburg, PA. With indoor and outdoor dining, you can enjoy prime rib all weekend long, or perhaps it is their full wings served on Thursday wing nights that you're after. From celebrating a special occasion to hanging out with family and friends, the Allegheny Grill in Foxburg is the place to be. As they like to say, you come for the food and you stay for the view. Reserve your table today at AlleghenyGrill.com.
1, 2.
Need plumbing, heating, or air conditioning services in Western PA? Then call Luton's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning in Clarion today at 814-226-8695. At Luton's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, we believe that a service-oriented business like ours should give you quality care and a quick response time. That's why we stand on our promise, offering you reliable 24-hour service that gets your job done right when you need it. We can also be found on the web at lutonsplumbing.com. Again, that number is 814-226-8695.
Have a fender bender? We can mender at Park Avenue Motor Car. Bring your vehicle to Ron and the crew at Park Avenue Motor Car, 7 South Carver Street in Warren, or call 814-726-9728. Park Avenue Motor Car, proudly serving Warren County for 30 years.
Whether retirement is just around the corner or years away, John Bongiovanni, Lucas Slazak, and Adam Jack of Generational Wealth Management in Erie and Bradford are here for you. John, a Forbes-recognized best-in-state wealth advisor, Lucas and Adam provide customized investment advisory solutions and retirement planning services. Generational Wealth Management offers world-class investment services and internationally recognized insurance products from Northwestern Mutual, an industry leader. The Generational Wealth Management team provides a high level of expertise and service to their professional and business clients. Contact the Erie office at 814-651-0838 or the Bradford office at 814-368-4065 or check them out online at gwm.nm.com.
Welcome back to Carter Field in Titusville. Just about set to wrap up the Pizza Huts of Grove City and Clarion halftime show. At the half of this District 10 Class 1A championship, Eisenhower and Reynolds tied at 14. And now we're going to take a look at Cody's keys to the second half, brought to you by Icy Ink and Warren. Let's meet, drink coffee, and design some cool shirts. Be cool, wear Icy. Visit them online at icyink.com. That's ICYYink.com.
My key for the second half on the Eisenhower side of it is offensively. Get back to what they were doing where they were finding success. I know you can't run Benji Bauer every time. Said that before the game. You got to mix it up a little bit, but you have to be smart where you mix it up. And Sean Pascuzzi, he's struggling a little bit with getting rid of the ball. So as the coach, take him out of that position. Make his pass, run plays that are quick passes, screens, something across the middle, quick slants. Get him comfortable in a rhythm if you are going to pass the ball. On the Reynolds side of things, I think you need to find a way to utilize Jalen Wagner outside of just running the ball. Maybe utilize him in the passing game where Eisenhower has shown weaknesses throughout the year, and don't just do straight up head-on running. Although we've seen him break free for a couple of 30-yard runs, the score is still tied 14-14. So they're certainly not dominating on the ground like they have in previous games.
All right, those are Cody's keys to the second half, brought to you by Icy Inc. in Warren. Visit them online at icyinc.com. That's icyinc.com. That's going to do it for the Pizza Huts of Grove City and Clarion halftime show. There's time for you now to order a fresh hot pizza from Pizza Hut, where no one out pizzas the Hut. Order online at pizzahut.com. And our third quarter this afternoon is brought to you by Freedom Investment Management Group. For all your financial needs, go to freedomwealthcoach.com. And Eisenhower is going to get the ball. They won the toss, deferred, elected to receive to start the second half. And Cody, you and I were talking over the break that this opening possession of the second half could be critical for the way this game goes, especially if Reynolds holds Eisenhower off the scoreboard and then comes right back down and scores themselves.
Yeah, Eisenhower doesn't want to fall behind. They've been in the lead or tied the entire first half. It'd be a heartbreaker to give that up here early on in the second half. I think they need to go down. They at least need to put together an extensive or long drive. Get down, make some offensive production, even if you don't get it into the end zone. You force Reynolds to then have to drive the whole field. Don't give them that. Don't do them any favors right now.
And this is going to be Novak kicking for the Raiders. We had seen Nate Miller do the kicking before, so we'll see how this changes things. It's a short kick again. It's fielded at the 36 by
Wonderling.
Almost out to the 45. Mason Wonderling on the return. Not a name that we have called, I don't think, before this point in the season, Cody.
No, maybe once, but he went right after that. He was a little excited, I think.
And so Eisenhower will start 1st and 10 from its own 45.
So this is good field position for Eisenhower.
Mm-hmm. And again, like you said, Cody, this is a critical drive here for the Knights. Can they put a long, extensive drive together? Haven't really had to do that so far. Pascuzzi's going to come out under center. And the give is to Bauer off right tackle, and he's going to be hit and stopped for a loss. It looked like Nate Miller was the first one to get to him, and that is a 2-yard loss. We'll bring up a 2nd down and 10. And as you said, Reynolds is ready for this now. They know what they're going to get with Bauer. Do you turn to that quick handoff right up the gut with Lindell? Do you maybe try to do a screen or some kind of swing pass to somebody out in the flat?
I'd like to see him utilize Lindell.
They do come out in the eye. Lindell, the up back. And Pascuzzi is going to throw, and it is the screen to Bauer. And what a great play there by Jalen Wagner.
Bauer got up a little bit of hobble getting up. He kind of got hit weird there by Wagner's leg, kind of bent backwards, but he seems to be walking it off.
What a great open field tackle by Jalen Wagner. Took Bauer's legs right out from under him. If he doesn't make that stop, Bauer's got a 1st down and then some, probably. Instead, we get a Luton's Plumbing here 9 here for Eisenhower.
Benji Bauer being sore there after that hit.
So they send trips left, send Ekstrom in motion, and they fake to him and give to Bauer. And just a yard or two there, not much doing. They were ready for that counter play.
Yeah, I'd have actually sooner seen Keegan Ekstrom take that handoff. After that hit by Jalen Wagner, Bauer got up. He was limping a little bit. I hated to see them go right back to him on the very next play.
And it will be Bauer back to punt, McLaughlin back to receive.
So the Raiders
And McLaughlin's going to go just inside of his 20.
That's exactly how Josh Mull would have wanted it to happen.
And Bauer gets the snap and gets the kick away, kicks it away from McLaughlin, and almost bounced right into Tino Gentili, had his back to the football. And Raiders fortunate that didn't bounce right off his back. But they force a 3 and out, which is exactly what Reynolds needed to do here to start the second half, and they take over at their own 23.
Yeah, and I'll be curious to see if they play aggressive or they just run their typical standard offense, or if they're going to try to strike fast and make a statement and really shift the momentum in their direction.
And they respot the ball, make that the 22. That's where Reynolds will start here. McCloskey trips left, Wagner the sidecar to his right. McLaughlin, the lone man, they do give to Wagner, and he's going to be stopped. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. Might have even lost a yard there. We'll see where they spot it. And it is spotted at the 21, so a loss of 1 on first down for Jalen Wagner.
Through the offensive line from the linebacker spot and making a great play for the Knights.
So second down and 11 here for Reynolds.
Raiders with their first possession of the second half will come back.
And they will come out with 2 receivers to each side, and Wagner will now go to McCloskey's right. And they send a man in motion, and they fake to him. McCloskey's going to keep it, and he's going to get maybe a yard before he's stopped up. And again, another Knight slow to get up. This time it's Chris Bunk. And already having lost Mike Beaver early in the game, the Knights cannot afford for Bunk to miss any significant time here.
He seemed to be running off the field okay. But, yeah, you're right. Bunk on offense is one of the keys to where I think they could get their offense, their passing game rolling.
So it is third down and 9. McCloskey got 2 on that carry. It's a Luton's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning third down.
Wagner is lined up to the right of McCloskey.
Wagner to McCloskey's right. McCloskey's going to throw. He pumps. He's got a man over the middle. He fell down. And that was P.J. Winkle tried to run a curl and just slipped down. And again, we talked about that light dusting of snow that was here. Has since melted, but that field is wet and it's slick, and we've seen a number of players slip down already, and Winkle just did it there on a critical third down play.
So a couple of punts to start the second half. This has been relatively defensive ball game so far.
Pascuzzi at his own 49 awaits McLaughlin's punt, and we got a flag, and it's a false start on Reynolds.
Back 5 more yards before this kick.
And so,
Going to give Eisenhower,
and again, Eisenhower has been in that backfield when Reynolds has punted. They got a piece of one and got called for a running into the kicker on another one. So we'll see if they bring a ton of pressure again here, or try to set up a return with Pascuzzi now right at midfield. High snap and another whistle. And a false start again.
Now they're
Reynolds keeps backing up here, and now you got to think you can bring the house. I mean, McLaughlin's standing at his own 3-yard line.
Yeah, this is where you're thinking not just a blocked punt, but potentially a safety or a turnover touchdown situation. Either way you look at it, the Knights should have good field position.
And McLaughlin gets the snap. They don't bring pressure. Pascuzzi's going to field it right at midfield. He takes the catch, and he's going to get stopped immediately. Another great open field tackle there from Reynolds. This time it's Tino Gentili. And the Knights going to start. He fell forward with the football, so they are going to start in Reynolds territory at the 49.
But still, unable to block that punt. A couple of penalties certainly helped, and they have phenomenal field position again to start a series. Let's see if they're able to do something with it.
And just a tick under 8 minutes to go here in the Freedom Investment Management Group third quarter of the District 10 Class 1A Championship from Carter Field here in Titusville. And Pascuzzi gives to Bauer. He's going to try the right side, picks his way through, and a solid first down run there for Benji Bauer. Gets out to the 44, a 5-yard pickup.
And you can see Bauer in the backfield before that play, kind of working his leg a little bit. Still feeling the effects of that Jalen Wagner hit on the last series.
So 2nd down and 5. As Jensen's going to run the play in here for Eisenhower.
Their feed keeps freezing, folks. That is your internet. That is not on our end. So, we've had our share of technical problems. That's not one of them. Winner of this game is going to be taken on Fort Allegheny.
2nd down and 5 here for Eisenhower from the Reynolds 44. Pascuzzi fakes, gives to Ekstrom, trying to cut his way through, and Keegan Ekstrom picks his way ahead. He's going to be close to a 1st down.
Just shifty enough to get through there.
And that is a Tionesta Builder Supply 1st down run for Keegan Ekstrom. 5-yard pickup down to the 39.
And I like this mix-up of throwing Keegan Ekstrom in there. They've had some minor success with it so far, but he's just such a different style of runner than Benji Bauer and Tucker Lindell. That defensively, you get used to hitting these bigger guys. You go at them real aggressive, and then you get a kid like Keegan Ekstrom come in there, and he can slip right past over-aggressiveness.
Knight's going to have to hurry here. Under 10 seconds as they break the huddle on the play clock. 5 seconds now. Pascuzzi gets the play off, gives it to Bauer. He's going to try the left side. He spun around, and he's going to get stopped. Looks like another 5-yard pickup for Benji Bauer.
This is the type of drive Eisenhower needs. You're eating up clock. You're wearing down the opposing defense, and you're doing it on the ground.
So make it 6 yards actually for Bauer. 2nd down and 4 from the 33. As we are about to approach the midpoint here of the Freedom Investment Management Group 3rd quarter.
Second drive of the second half for Eisenhower. That's not
Benji Bauer's approaching.
Let's call it 4 right now.
2nd and 4. Give it to Bauer again. He picks his way through. Benji Bauer's got some space, and he's going to have enough for the Tionesta Builder Supply 1st down for the Knights.
I was just going to say Benji Bauer's approaching 100 yards, and he's over it now.
And this drive is being built by Tionesta Builder Supply with locations in Shippenville and Tionesta. Visit them online at tionestabuilders.us. So down to the Reynolds 24 now are the Knights.
Yeah, Bauer sitting on 102 yards on 13 carries.
Knights up to the line.
Pascuzzi under center. And they fake to Bauer, give to Ekstrom. Ekstrom looking to turn the corner. And closing quickly was Tino Gentili.
That was good pursuit by Gentili, but it was just enough for Eisenhower to pick up just a few yards, give Bauer a play off, rest a little bit, and if it's not for Gentili, there was really nobody else in that area.
2-yard pickup for Ekstrom makes it 2nd down and 8. Yeah, and if Gentili's not able to run Ekstrom down, he might have been able to turn the corner and scoot all the way down the sideline. Ekstrom, the lone receiver, split to the far side. And lost the ball on the snap, but Pascuzzi picks it up and goes forward for a couple of yards.
That was a very heads-up play by Pascuzzi, and not only pick up the ball, a lot of quarterbacks will just drop on it, but to pick it up and immediately go forward.
And that's that running back experience that he has. But it does bring up a Luton's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning 3rd down and 7. As the Knights are now entering the Pizza Hut red zone. It's time to order a fresh hot pizza at Pizza Hut, where no one out-pizzas the Hut. Order online now at pizzahut.com.
And obviously, this is we're looking at 4-down territory here. So if you're Eisenhower, you don't need
unless you've got a lot of faith in Cole Kellogg from this distance. And we are going to get an Icy Ink timeout by Eisenhower as the play clock was running down.
That's a smart call. This is such a crucial drive for Eisenhower.
And again, tie ball game, 14 apiece here. Eisenhower and Reynolds, District 10 Class 1A championship on the line. Winner will face District 9 champion Port Allegheny in the PIAA quarterfinals next week. And if you get a chance, go back and watch that game from last night. Another fantastic ball game over at District 9, Cody. Port Allegheny and Brockway, my broadcast partner last night, Sean Lathrop, said it was like a heavyweight fight. They just kept taking big swings at each other, a lot of big hitting, but then a couple couple of Noah Archer big plays, a 57-yard touchdown run and a pass breakup on 4th down, sealed that championship win for Port Allegheny. And 3:51 to go here in the Freedom Investment Management Group third quarter from Carter Field in Titusville, District 10 Class 1A Championship. Eisenhower facing a 3rd down and 7. And Pascuzzi pitches to Bauer. Reynolds in the backfield. Bauer shakes free, and he's trying to hold on the ball. He lost it. Reynolds was able to pull it out. There's a fight for the ball. And Eisenhower, Chris Bunk was able to fall on it. What a fortunate turn of events for Eisenhower. You could see as Bauer was spinning backwards, he was grabbing for the ball as the Raiders were trying to rip it out from.
Yeah, and a little bit of trying to reposition the ball to get it more secure, I think, opened them up just enough for that aggressive defense by the Raiders.
And so 4th down and 7, and the Knights are going to go for it here now at the 21-yard line.
I'll tell you, Brian, after that timeout, I expected something a little different, not just a handoff.
They come out in the eye. Jacobs act split up top, and we've got a whistle. And it is a false start on Eisenhower, so that's going to make it 4th and 12. Again, at this point in the field, I'm not sure that. This is, you're talking a 40-yard field goal attempt. Nothing against Cole Kellogg, but I'm not sure he's quite got the leg for that. But certainly not in a position where you want to punt the ball away. So it's 4th and 12.
I think the goal here is to get positive yards. Even if you don't get the first down, let's just get positive yards and put them as deep as you can.
And they fake. Pascuzzi to throw. He's rolling right. Got time. Fires for Bunk. And it's broken up by McLaughlin again.
What a play by McLaughlin. You couldn't have played that any better.
And Hayden McLaughlin showing his vertical ability twice so far in this game now. But there is a Raider down on the field, down near the 1. And if that's McLaughlin, it looks like he's cramping up.
And Sean Pascuzzi's rolling out there to the right. I thought he was going to take off. There wasn't really any defenders for another 10 yards.
And that is Hayden McLaughlin's down. And it certainly looks like they're trying to stretch out some cramps there. The way Wagner was initially helping him, you could just see bending those toes back towards his shins. And anybody who's played any kind of football or competitively has probably experienced that a time or two.
Yeah, it's not fun, and it's something that lingers throughout the rest of the game too. So I'll be curious if Eisenhower hasn't shied away from throwing his direction yet so far, but maybe now they might make it a point to throw his direction since he might be dealing with cramping.
Well, and so far, you probably want to throw away from him the way he's been able to go up there and make some plays.
Or you play it safe and throw it away from him.
And they are helping him too, his feet right now. And you can see trying to walk that cramp off. And on these cold days, temperatures, again, we're hovering right around 30 degrees at kickoff. And it's going to take him a minute to get all the way across the field working that cramp out. But you can see as the more he walks, a little steadier he gets with each step. But again, that's that's something they need him both on offense and defense, but especially the way this game has gone to this point, they need to get him back defensively.
And speaking of defense, Eisenhower needs to have another huge defensive stop here. The offense did accomplish one thing. They ran a lot of time off the clock, and they've got the Raiders in not great field position.
And if flag comes down, I'm not sure what the and that is going to go against the Raiders. Looks like a delay of game. And so that's going to back them up 5 yards to the 21.
I don't understand that.
I'm not sure how you come out of that.
It's pretty hard to do.
Come out of an injury timeout and immediately get a delay game, but that was the call, and so it is first down and 15. And the give is to Wagner, and he escapes one tackle. And a big stop there by Jacobzak and Venata, because if Jacobzak doesn't slow down Wagner, he's gone.
Yeah, and that was a good carry by Wagner. That handoff was a little sloppy, and then the defender was there right on him immediately following that, and being able to just make a little bit of move to get some positive yards.
As we are approaching the 2-minute mark here in the Freedom Investment Management Group third quarter, still tied at 14 in this District 10 Class 1A championship. And they give it to Wagner again, and this time he's going to be swallowed up in the backfield. Venata again for Eisenhower. And it's going to be third down, and looks like 8 to go. And it's a Luton's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning third down for the Raiders. And a big third down coming up here. And they're going to send 2 receivers to each side. It'll be Wagner to McCloskey's right. And they give it to Wagner right up the middle, and he's going to get the first down.
Actually ran into the official.
Use the official as a screen, but he gets the Ty Nesta Builder Supply first down. The Raiders spread out the Knights defense and then gave it to Wagner right up the middle, and he gets the Ty Nesta Builder Supply first down out to the 40.
Dodging Knights and referees on that play.
Wagner 4 carries, 13 yards so far this half.
So first down and 10 from the 40. And they give to Wagner again. Lindell and Venata going to stop him for a 1-yard pickup. And we have just about 30 seconds to go here in the Freedom Investment Management Group. Third quarter, big fourth quarter coming up in this District 10 championship.
Yeah, absolutely. Wagner closing in on 150 yards rushing. He's got 148 so far.
And so they're going to go twins to each side. Wagner to McCloskey's left. They give it to him again right up the middle. And again, he's going to gain about 2. And that's probably it. And that is going to be the final play of the third quarter. Through 3 quarters of play here from Carter Field in Titusville. Eisenhower 14, Reynolds 14. Decisive fourth quarter in this District 10 championship coming up right after this on the YDL Sports Network.
For all your automotive needs, look no further than the Warren Tire Center. From new tires to tire repairs, PA state inspections, wheel alignments, and auto detailing, there's so much more that we can do for you, and there's no reason to go anywhere but the Warren Tire Center in Warren, Pennsylvania. With over 40 years of serving the Warren and surrounding communities, it's always been a great day at the Warren Tire Center. We offer same-day service and walk-ins are welcome. Open Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m., the Warren Tire Center can be reached at 814-723-8050 and on the web at warrentirecenter.com.
At Titusville, 3rd and 6. They give to Wagner off right tackle. He's got a huge hole. Jalen Wagner. He's going to go 57 yards for the Peppermill touchdown, and Reynolds takes the lead.
Brian, right there on the break, I had said to you as soon as we went to commercial, it's going to be the team that makes the big play. And maybe the Raiders heard me, maybe they didn't, but they certainly responded.
And so Wagner's second long touchdown run of the ballgame. He opens the Warren Tire Center fourth quarter with a 57-yard run and gives Reynolds the lead for the first time here in this District 10 championship. And Reynolds going to go for 2 here. And a critical extra point coming up. McCloskey was just able to push his way across the goal line on the last conversion attempt. And it's going to be McCloskey again on the keeper, and he gets in. So Reynolds, after the Wagner run and the McCloskey conversion, have an 8-point lead, and another Eisenhower player slow to get up. And that was Pascuzzi having some trouble getting off the field. And that certainly affects what Eisenhower might be able to do here on this ensuing possession as they trail for the first time here in this football game. Once there, our fourth quarter this afternoon is brought to you by Warren Tire Center. For all your automotive needs, look no further than Warren Tire Center. From new tires, tire repairs, PA state inspections, wheel alignments, and auto detailing, and so much more, there's no reason to go anywhere but Warren Tire Center in Warren. Check them out online at warrentirecenter.com. Also, a few local businesses and families wanted to wish good luck to the Knights this afternoon. Wilcox Brothers True Value would like to congratulate the Eisenhower Knights on a terrific season and wish them good luck in today's championship game. Grant Lumber would like to wish the Knights the best of luck in today's championship game. Go Knights. The family of J.J. Darr, number 55, wants to wish the Knights good luck, and the Targeted Pet Treats team wants to wish the Knights good luck in today's championship game. Go Knights.
So that 57-yard touchdown run by Jalen Wagner gives him 207 yards on 26 carries, averaging 8.7 yards per carry. He has 3 20-plus yards carries. He has 73 yards here in the second half alone.
We're back here again at Titusville.
And so the Raiders getting set to kick. And Novak kicks, and Bunk's going to have it go through his hands. And we'll see, there was a loose ball there. And Eisenhower able to fall on it. And again, like we talked about, Cody, one of those teams, Reynolds has had Eisenhower's number the last few years. They got behind and almost made a critical error there on the kickoff.
Yeah, and we've mentioned it a couple of times throughout this game, before this game. The domino. They had a fumbled snap, and then Benji Bauer had a fumble. You give up the big play to Jalen Wagner. There just tends to be, maybe it's a mental aspect of things. Eisenhower has to get out of their own head and focus on what they need to do.
So Pascuzzi does come out under center. 1st and 10 from the 33. The give is to Ekstrom, and he gets away from Miller. Now reverses field, and a big run on first down for Keegan Ekstrom. Going to be close to a first down, but now he is down and slow to get up. And that was a 9-yard pickup, and Ekstrom is down, and he is hurting. And while they tend to him, we're going to take a break. This is the District 10 Championship on the YDL Sports Network.
Hey, this is Joe.
And this is Sketty.
And we're the hosts of the Beehive Sports Podcast. Do you like uncut looks into all things sports?
If you said yes, then this is a sports show for you.
Live weekly shows broadcasted on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, covering everything from local sports in northwestern Pennsylvania all the way to the pros.
Not to mention the hottest takes you will ever hear. Follow us on all social media platforms and tune into episodes today.
So Ekstrom is able to walk off the field on his own, but again, another big loss here. He picks up 9 on that first down carry. Will make it 2nd down and 1.
Okay, so it will be.
Might be seeing a Sean Pascuzzi keeper here right to Tucker Lindell.
2nd down and 1. And Pascuzzi gives to Bauer, and there's a flag down and a false start on the Knights. They tried to go hard count, pick up the first down on the penalty, and now it's going to be a 2nd down and 6.
And again, we apologize for internet issues that have been happening all over, folks. It's not originally.
And so they go 2nd and 1 from 2nd and 1 to 2nd and 6.
A 59-yard run by Jalen Wagner.
And Jacob's not going to run the play in again. Now they're running the play in. He's not even getting the play to Pascuzzi until there's 12 seconds left on the play clock. Play clock's down under 7 seconds now, and the Knights aren't aware. Pascuzzi now running up. and just gets the snap away. He's back to pass. It's going to be the screen for Bauer, and he's again swallowed up, this time by Miller. 1 yard gain. And Reynolds is ready for that screen pass.
Well, and we've seen where Eisenhower has had success. Reynolds tends to not allow that to happen again. And it doesn't help that they were rushing that play.
And they've already burned one timeout. You certainly don't want to be down to one timeout with more than 10 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. As Eisenhower trails by 8. Good to see Ekstrom checking back in. And again, they're under 10 seconds. They're just taking too long to get this play up. They're going to have to take a timeout, and Jim Penley just called it.
This is part of what I was saying, Brian, sequence of events that they're getting in their own head. They're trying to do too much, just not paying attention to the little things. The first half, for the majority of the first half, they played very fundamentally sound football. Here in the second half, after a couple of good defensive stops and a long offensive drive, it's been a little bit of a mental breakdown.
So they will be facing a Luton's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning 3rd down and 6 coming out of this Icy Ink timeout. And again, the Knights now down to 1 timeout for the rest of this game, as there's just over 10 minutes to go. And Eisenhower trailing 22-14 thanks to the 57-yard Jalen Wagner run. And now Pascuzzi's going to come out in the gun. Sending Ekstrom in motion. Pascuzzi back to pass. Looking, steps up, throws, well underthrown, and is broken up. Broken up by Kevin Malgiri. And it'll be a 4th down and a punting situation coming up for the Knights. And again, Bunk slow to get up after that midair collision. And that ball was just underthrown. If he leads Bunk, Bunk's got to step on Malgiri there.
Yeah, that ball was underthrown enough where Bunk almost had to turn into the defender to ensure that there wasn't an interception.
And so Bauer will come on to punt. McLaughlin back, but only about halfway, as Reynolds ready for the fake. Bauer has it, and he does kick it away. And McLaughlin lets it bounce, and it takes a big bounce for Eisenhower, still rolling down inside the 5. And what a kick again by Benji Bauer.
Benji Bauer kind of has that punch kick. It's not real high. It's just over defenders' heads, and it gets a lot of roll on it.
So Reynolds will take possession with the lead for the first time in this game. 22-14, 9:49 to go here in the Warren Tire Center fourth quarter. And this has been a whale of a ball game, but you talked about it, Cody, the big plays. 33-yard run by Wagner set up the first touchdown. He scores on a 39-yard run. He scores on a 57-yard run. When Eisenhower has limited the big play, they've been very solid defensively, but those big plays have just been killers for them.
Well, Eisenhower's going to have to have a big play here. Forcing a safety in this position would be great.
The give is to Wagner, and he's going to pick his way forward. He gets out to the 5, maybe the 6. So 2-yard pickup on first down. But it will be a 2nd down and 8 as they mark him down at the 5.
Raiders would love nothing more than
I want to see Eisenhower be aggressive here, but you got to be smart while you're being aggressive here. You don't want to give up a screenplay that burns you for 40 yards.
So trips to the right for McCloskey. Wagner, the sidecar right. McLaughlin, the lone receiver left. They give to Wagner. He's going to try the left side. Thinks about reversing and avoids Tucker Lindell, and Wagner's down the sideline and out of bounds for a first down and then some because of the late hit out of bounds. And again, Cody, you just talked about those mental issues. There's just Wagner was running himself right out of bounds, just no reason to deliver that hit.
No. And unfortunately, Tucker Lindell had him dead to rights there, right about the line of scrimmage, and Wagner was able to escape that tackle and then tacked on another 15 yards after that.
So Wagner had already picked up the Ty Nesta Builder Supply first down, and then they're going to add 15 more onto it, and that's going to give them a first down out to the 30.
clock stopped now with exactly 9 minutes to go.
9 minutes to go here in the Warren Tire Center fourth quarter. Reynolds trying to clinch its third straight District 10 championship. Eisenhower looking for its first since 1993 to give us to Wagner up the middle. And he's going to get about 5, maybe 6.
Maybe almost 6 yards.
Before Venata and I believe that was Jeremiah Aiken on the stop. But again, that's something Reynolds will take right now. A solid gain on first down and keeps the clock moving.
Yeah, if you're Reynolds, this is a perfect scenario. If you can just chunk away, kill some time, wear out the Eisenhower defense.
So second down and 5.
All right, on the second.
And McCloskey gives to Wagner. He fumbles the ball, but McCloskey falls on it. Almost disaster for the Raiders.
Yeah, that ball for the Raiders took a very good bounce spin. It went right into where McCloskey was able to dive on it.
If he peels off after that handoff, there's nobody but Eisenhower players around the ball. Fortunate for Reynolds that McCloskey was still right there, able to fall on it.
And there's been a couple of handoffs throughout this game that we've seen that have been a little on the sloppy side, a little too delayed to release the ball into Jalen Wagner's hands.
So third down and 5. Luton's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, 3rd and 5 for the Raiders. And they give to Wagner, and he's got space. Lindell trying to run him down. He stretches out, and he's got enough for the Ty Nesta Builder Supply first down.
They're going to mark it, I believe, at the 40-yard line, and that is going to be.
And Lindell with the tackle out of bounds.
That's enough for a first down.
And that was a very good job by Jalen Wagner to get that ball over the line. Just enough, getting the first down, keep this drive alive.
And they're going to that left side because Wagner's just got to step on Lindell right now.
Mm-hmm.
You go to the other side, maybe Bauer's able to run him down, but right now it's a first down and 10 from the Reynolds 40. They empty the backfield, and McCloskey can keep it himself. He's get a couple and then is stopped.
And he lowered the shoulder for about a yard, maybe 2.
Bring up a second down and 8. But again, Reynolds has killed more clock here as we are just about to hit the 7-minute mark of this Warren Tire Center fourth quarter.
Jalen Wagner with 11 carries, 96 yards here in the second half. He's up to 230 yards for the game.
And they go trips right. And they're going to give to Wagner off the right side again. And Miller with a big block. And Wagner's got another Ty Nesta Builder Supply first down. Out of bounds again. Chambers on the stop. But they have crossed over into Eisenhower territory with less than 7 minutes to go. And again, Eisenhower's going to have to come up with something defensively here. Some kind of tackle for loss or a fumble recovery, or Reynolds is just going to keep eating this clock up.
Yeah, well, see, Reynolds is a team that you can't make mistakes on, and this is why. You're here in the fourth quarter.
McCloskey on the keeper, and he plows his way ahead.
You're here in the fourth quarter, and they're able to just give it to Wagner. McCloskey, give him a break here and there, and they're pounding the ball away, running time off the clock.
So a gain of 4 on first down brings up a second down and 6. And wouldn't surprise me at all to see them hand the ball off to Wagner off left tackle. And the left tackle, Nate Miller, set some solid edges for Wagner here on this drive. And again, they go trips right. Now they're going to move Wagner to McCloskey's right. And they give to him. And this time he goes inside, but then Bauer with a big hit just as he crossed the line of scrimmage. Wagner's able to fall forward. It's close to a first down, and they are going to give him a Ty Nesta Builder Supply first. No, they're not. Wait, hold on. The chain gang started moving. And no, it is going to be a 3rd and inches here coming up for Reynolds. And
Now, you
you're
could
going to have McCloskey in the gun. You got to imagine this is either going to be a keeper or Reynolds right up the, or Wagner right up the gut.
You got to be careful with McCloskey. He's had a little bit of issues with ball control.
And there's Wagner right up the middle, and he's got the first down. That's another Ty Nesta Builder Supply first down for Reynolds. And this is exactly why this team has won 2 straight District 10 championships. When they had to have a big drive, they've come up with one. Even if they don't put points on the board here, taking more than 5 minutes off the clock.
And they're able to capitalize on mistakes. I think that's such a big difference maker between 2 good football teams. Is the football team that can capitalize on the most mistakes typically wins that ball game.
And McCloskey gives to Wagner. He cuts up inside, still on his feet, and Bauer's going to throw him down after a pickup of about 4.
And just short of the 30, and we'll call it a gain of 4 to be
So second down and 6 coming up here for Reynolds. And again, even more time coming off for Reynolds. And you can see Wagner in the backfield just kind of hunched over and the effort that he has had to put forward to gain most of his yards today. It has certainly not been easy going here in this championship game. And they're going to fake it. McCloskey's going to keep it himself. He tries to reverse field, and he's hit by Venata and stopped and thrown backwards. It's going to lose a yard, maybe 2. And again, the biggest key here is because Eisenhower had to burn those timeouts, taking so long getting the plays in, they've only got 1 timeout left here as we're under 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I think if the Raiders are able to get this clock down under 2, even if they don't score, it's going to be very difficult for Eisenhower, who has a non-existent passing game today, to get down the field in enough time to put points on the board.
So at Luton's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, third down and 7 coming up for the Raiders. And they're going to give to Wagner, and he's stopped. Jacob Zach and Lindell there to bring up a 4th down. And you got to think Reynolds is going to go for this here. Just let this clock run down. I would imagine they just let the play clock run all the way down.
Under 3.5 minutes to play when they get the ball.
And even if you don't get the 4th down conversion here, there's going to be less than 2.5 minutes for Eisenhower to make a play. And they're going to run it all the way down to 1 second on the play clock.
22 to 14, waning minutes of the.
And there is the timeout by Reynolds, the IC Inc. timeout. Josh Mull calls it. 2:35 to go here in the Warren Tire Center fourth quarter. Play of the ball game right here, Cody. If Reynolds picks this up, it's game over.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know it's 4th and 7. You might be prone to want to pass the ball. I think if you're Reynolds, you spread the defense out. Let your guy, let Jalen Wagner try to pick up that first down. You know, here in the second half, I'm looking through his rushes, and he's got 10, 6, 5, 10, 5, 5, 4 here on this drive alone. So expecting him to pick up 7 yards is not a daunting task.
Well, and what do you scheme for defensively? If you're Jim Penley, what are you telling the Knights in the huddle right now? What are you calling? What's your defensive play that you go to here to make sure you get this stop and get the ball back, give your team a chance to come back and at least tie this game up?
I hate to say that they need to commit to something, but I think that knowing that Wagner is the weapon on offense that they're going to likely go through, you focus on him. Maybe have a spy on McCloskey because he can scramble and run the ball, but you focus on Wagner. If they burn you somewhere else, that's the nature of the beast.
And the give is to Wagner. It's a flea flicker. McCloskey for McLaughlin. He's wide open. Caught. Peppermill touchdown for Reynolds. And Pascuzzi nearly made it up as the ball hung in the air, but McLaughlin had enough of a step behind him. And Reynolds now has a 2-score lead with under 2.5 minutes to play. There it was. You went defense came with their best play. Offense came with a play that even if you don't pick it up, you've killed some clock. And McCloskey hits McLaughlin for the touchdown. Novak for the extra point is no good. So it is a 2-score game here, 2:28 to go in the Warren Tire Center fourth quarter. We'll be right back with the conclusion of the District 10 Championship on the YDL Sports Network.
Rocket Detailing and Auto Service can help get you and your vehicle ready for the winter elements. Winter is coming, and a ceramic coating or coat of wax can help maintain the look of your vehicle through the worst of it. We also offer competitive rates on oil changes and tires. Check out our services and book an appointment online at rocketdetails.com. Rocket Detailing and Auto Service is located next to the movie theater in North Warren.
And we are back here at Carter Field in Titusville. And on the flea flicker, Braden McCloskey to Hayden McLaughlin. And Reynolds has a 28-14 lead here with 2:29 to go in the District 10 Class 1A Championship. Reynolds looking for their third straight title and now have a 2-score lead with under 2.5 minutes to go. Novak going to kick. And Knights are going to have to come up with some kind of big play. It's a squib kick. And Bowers got it. He's run into by his own teammate and then gets out across the 45. So it will be good field position. But again, outside of the 65-yard run from Bauer, the Knights have not shown a propensity to complete an explosive play yet, and they're going to have to do it multiple times here to come back and tie this ballgame.
Yeah, their passing game has significantly struggled, and they're not even really a passing team to begin with. This is a pretty tall order for the Knights.
And so Pascuzzi will come out in the gun, trips right, and he fumbles the snap, gets it, shakes a tackle, is hit while he throws, and is nearly intercepted. Blackbird almost had it, and if he'd have come up with that one, he was going to be off to the races. And Pascuzzi was hit as he threw, bobbled the snap. And again, they've spent most of the game with Pascuzzi under center, and now when you got to have it plays, they're putting them in the gun, and you've seen a couple of issues with the snap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you've seen issues with the snap, and it's just about getting comfortable, getting in a rhythm. I don't care what quarterback it is. They all need to get in a rhythm. Usually they don't start the game on fire. So now to be counting on Pascuzzi to march down the field with a passing attack is pretty tough.
So Pascuzzi will be in the gun again. Second down. And we've got a stoppage here. There is and that's going to be a delay of game against the Knights. Again, just trouble getting the play in here in the second half. Not something we saw throughout the first half, but multiple times in the second half, they're not getting the play in until there's less than 10 seconds left on the play clock. So they back up 5. It's 2nd and 15. And Pascuzzi to pass. He throws for Bunk, and it's too high.
Back to those delay of game penalties, and the ones that weren't penalties but were cutting it very close, which we've seen multiple times today. These are avoidable mistakes. This isn't a penalty where defender jumps off sides because he jumped the count, and that's just kind of part of football. Delay of game is a very, very avoidable mistake, especially if it happens multiple times.
So a Luton's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, 3rd down and 15 for Eisenhower. Pascuzzi to throw, and we've got a flag again, and it's a false start. So that'll back him up another 5. It's 3rd and 20. And as you talked about, Cody, that domino effect, one mistake leads to another mistake, and it's killed the Knights here in the second half.
Ever since that offensive series where we saw Pascuzzi have the fumbled snap and Benji Bauer had a fumble that was recovered by, I believe, Chris Bunk, it's really been a lot of just not pretty football for the Knights.
So it's now 3rd down and 20. Bunk is the lone receiver up top. And another high snap. Pascuzzi's got to step up, and he throws for Jensen, is nearly intercepted again. This time it was Andrew McCloskey stepping in front of Jensen.
Yeah, and Pascuzzi's just trying to make a play at this point. Just do something to convert, to get downfield to convert a first down.
And it is now 4th down and 20, and this really is the ball game right here. If they don't pick this up, Reynolds is going to be able to run out the clock. Eisenhower's only got 1 timeout left.
Yeah, it is. And you're looking at Eisenhower has 45 yards in penalties. 35 of them are here in the second half.
So here we go. They're going to empty out the backfield. Pascuzzi in the gun. He's got the ball. He's under pressure. He steps up. He throws for Jensen. It's incomplete. And that will do it here. Reynolds is going to come away with its 3rd straight District 10 Class 1A championship. And again, a much closer ball game than we've seen the last couple of times these two teams have met. But again, Reynolds found a way when they had to. The big 57-yard run by Wagner, the flea flicker on a 4th and 7, and Reynolds, just that championship mentality right now, knew what they had to do, executed when they had to.
Yeah, they've been here. They've been through this. They've met a lot of stiffer competition that have shut them down before. They know how to handle the pressure.
And so Josh Mull's not taking the knee here, a little surprising. And as a high snap goes through McCloskey's hands, and he falls on it. And he's back near midfield. And, again, Eisenhower's just now called the timeout. Again, at this point, if you're Josh Mull, you've got a 2-score lead. Take a knee. They're out of timeouts now. Yeah. You're going to be able to take this thing down under 30 seconds. Take the knee, go home with your title in hand, and call it a day.
Yeah, that seemed a little unnecessary. But we saw with that flea flicker that they're aggressive. I think that first half might have lit a fire under them a little bit to come out and say, no, we're moving on.
And really, you look at this game and the game flow, and you come back to 3rd and 16 with under 2 minutes to go in the first half. Mm-hmm. The McLaughlin interception, bang! Immediately, Wagner goes 39 yards for a touchdown, and Reynolds was off and running at that point.
Yeah, that was the momentum shift. And Reynolds has just picked up momentum throughout the rest of the game.
So now it's 2nd down and 20. That was a 10-yard loss on the high snap. But again, they come out in the gun, and they're going to give it to Wagner. And he's going to pick up a few. Again, you're at a point now. Eisenhower can't stop the clock. You've got 40 seconds between plays. It's 3rd down and 20. When you get backed up on 3rd and long, call Luton's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning and get you moving again at lutonsplumbing.com. But right now, there's 4 seconds-ish between the play clock and the game clock. And so this gets down to 1 second. You got a minute to go. You run a play, take a knee. It's going to be 20 seconds left.
Yeah, we saw Jalen Wagner kind of holding his midsection there earlier in the game. I think it's a little unnecessary to put the ball in his hands right now.
And McCloskey going to keep it himself this time, and he goes forward across the original line of scrimmage. And again, we are under a minute to go. And with the difference, there's going to be – it's 4th down, but it's 4th and looks like about 6. But again, you got about 10 seconds. They got to score twice. Mm-hmm. If you're McCloskey here, just – run around in the backfield a little bit and fall down. And, even if Eisenhower were to hit a big pass play, you got to hit the pass play, recover an onside kick, hit another big play,
right?
To have any kind of chance here to even tie this thing up. And Josh Mull's going to take a timeout here. Our clock is a little bit off from the official scoreboard clock. We've got 15. The scoreboard says 20. That's my fault. I maybe got a little click happy.
Getting a little excited
on the clock there, but 20 seconds to go. It's 28-14. Reynolds is going to win its 3rd straight District 10 championship here. And Eisenhower, its first and only loss of the season. And the Raiders now will have a date with District 9 champion Port Allegheny. Again, we'll find out whether that will be a Friday night or a Saturday game, and where it will be played probably tomorrow. And it is 4th down and 6 for Reynolds. And don't go anywhere. We will have the Allegheny Grill of Foxburg post-game show. At the conclusion of this game, we'll have the medal and championship trophy ceremony and try to get a interview up here with the player of the game. McCloskey in the gun and lots of movement up front. And it's going to be on Reynolds this time. So it's still fourth down. Now it's 11 instead of 6. And again, just 20 seconds to go with Reynolds leading 28-14.
A lot going on here in the last 2 minutes. It seems kind of unnecessary.
Yeah, there's so much. I mean, just run around the backfield for a little bit, slide down, take a knee, give yourself up, and know that you got to play prevent for a couple of plays, maybe 2. McCloskey back to pass, throws on fourth down, and it is caught by McLaughlin. And that is a first down, and that's the ball game. And now the clock will run out, and Reynolds will celebrate. Handshakes already. And again, stay tuned with us for the Allegheny Grill of Foxburg post-game show. And congratulations to the Reynolds Raiders as they are 3-time District 10 Class 1A champions. We'll be right back with the post-game show on the YDL Sports Network.
Ready to break into a rewarding career? Elwood National Forge can help. Elwood National Forge produces critical defense-rated parts to all branches of the United States military, meaning each day our employees are doing their part to support the men and women protecting our country. With multiple positions currently available and several career paths to choose from, Elwood National Forge offers on-site and on-the-job training, competitive pay and benefits, including 401k and insurance that start the date of hire, paid time off, and long-term job security. We'd love to support you in building a career. To learn more about becoming part of the Elwood National Forge family, visit enfjobs.com.
With locations in Chippenville and Tionesta Builder Supply is a full-service home improvement center specializing in everything you need to build or remodel your home. From power tools and accessories to paint and sundries and general hardware merchandise, Tionesta Builders has everything you need to get your project done quickly. Find out more at tionestabuilders.us and like them on Facebook.
Looking for a place to hone your skills in the off-season? How about just a friendly pickup game, or even a new league to join? Then head to the Hub at PF and Russell. An all-weather athletic facility, the Hub has everything you need to get your game on, from basketball and volleyball courts to indoor batting cages. And more than just an athletic facility, the Hub also plays host to special events like concerts and worship services. The Hub is a proud supporter of local athletes and wants to thank the community for all its support over the last 2 years.
Icing.
All right, we are here with the Allegheny Grill of Foxburg post-game show. It is time for the medal and trophy presentation. We will turn it over to the public address announcer here at Carter Field in Titusville. And the Raiders celebrating their third straight District 10 championship. I thought they were going to do the full medal presentation, but right now they're just doing the trophy presentation. And you could hear probably some of the Reynolds fans applauding. The Knights stayed on the field and applauded as Reynolds was handed the District 10 championship trophy for the third straight year. And again, that's one thing, Cody, about this Eisenhower team. Nobody's ever going to say Jim Penley doesn't run a classy program.
No, he does. His players are every game that we have watched, win or lose, shut out, dominant, get shut out. He has always had his guys in line, congratulating the other team or wishing them the best of luck in their future games. And you definitely have to give credit to Penley for that, and it's certainly something that needs to be highlighted probably more often. Needs to be talked about because there's certainly today's world, it's something good to see.
And again, Reynolds celebrating its third straight District 10 championship, a 28-14 win over Eisenhower here at Carter Field in Titusville. And hard-fought game on both sides. And just back and forth it went, and Reynolds was able to come up with the big plays when they had to.
Yeah, they were. Reynolds was able to come up with the big plays. They were able to capitalize on mistakes by Eisenhower. And then on the second to last series that we saw that ended with the flea flicker touchdown, it was just that was a drive that I think Reynolds really needed going into next week. I think that was a very important drive, not just to win the game, but for them on film to have some significant positivity to build off of going into next week.
Yeah, and like you said, Cody, that was a championship drive from a championship caliber team. And again, taking nothing away from what Eisenhower's accomplished, a tremendous season for them. They're going to finish 11-1. Your lone loss is to a very, very good Reynolds team in the District 10 championship game. But, that's that. They've been there before. There was no panic. The mentality was, we've got the lead. We need to get a drive here that at the very least is going to take a ton of time off the clock. They started that drive at their 3-yard line. They go 97 yards in about 7 minutes and cap it off with the flea flicker for a touchdown. And again, just a championship drive from a championship caliber team.
It was exactly what they needed. And, let's be honest, Eisenhower came into this game 11-0, Reynolds 10-1. But I think a lot of people felt that Eisenhower was still going to be the underdog in this matchup. And for a majority of the first half, they played like the undefeated football team. They played like the better football team. Things didn't go their way, and it kind of snowballed. And credit to Reynolds for hanging in there and not getting frustrated, especially if you're not used to facing stiff competition like that with their only loss coming to Shippensville. Sharpsville, sorry. The Raiders really stuck with it, and there in the second half, I think that they were equipped to take this ball game and run with it.
Well, and again, we come back to that 3rd and 16 play late in the first half. McLaughlin comes up with the interception. Boom, Wagner's in the end zone on the very next play, and it really seemed like from that point on, Reynolds controlled the game.
Yes.
Eisenhower had a solid. They come out with the opening possession, go 3 and out. They get a stand, have a solid drive going. The fumbled snap, the fumble by Bauer that they recover, but then all of a sudden it's 4th down in that no man's land. You're between the 20 and 40, and you've got to make a play on 4th down. And guess who? McLaughlin again breaks up the pass to Chris Bunk.
Yeah, and that was such a huge. There was several huge plays by Reynolds here in the second half. And I might say that McLaughlin's 2 pass breakups that he had, the one was an interception, and then the pass breakup that we saw there deep in their own territory might be 2 of the biggest plays in this game, because those 2 moments shifted momentum, or in the case of the broken up pass here in the second half, prevented a shift from momentum.
And so now, as part of the Allegheny Grill of Foxburg post-game show, which the Allegheny Grill was voted #1 in Pennsylvania for waterfront restaurants, stop on down and find out why. Make a reservation today at AlleghenyGrill.com, where you come for the food and stay for the view. Let's take a look at our final game stats brought to you by the Brooks UR Ledbetter Sportsperson of the Year Award. For more information, go to yourdailylocal.com/BHL Award.
We will start with the Reynolds Raiders and Jalen Wagner. He had 36 carries, 259 yards, 3 carries over 20 yards. He averaged 7.2 yards per carry. In the first half, he had 19 carries, 134 yards. Second half, 17 carries, 125 yards. How about that for consistency, Brian? Other than Wagner, Braden McCloskey, he had 9 carries, 18 yards, and he also had a score. Overall, the Raiders had 293 yards on the ground off of 49 plays and averaged 6 yards a carry. Hayden McLaughlin, 4 receptions, 88 yards, averaged 22 yards per catch, and he had a score. And McCloskey was 4 of 7 for those 88 yards, and with that score. On the Eisenhower side of things, Benji Bauer, 14 carries, 101 yards, 6.7 yards per carry, and a score. Tucker Lindell, 2 for 14, and he also had a score. You know, Tucker Lindell didn't have a carry in the second half, and I do think that might have attributed to some things not going well. Overall, the Knights were 25 rushes for 139 yards. Knights had 143 yards total. Sean Pascuzzi in the passing game, unfortunately, was more or less non-existent tonight, 2 of 9 for just 4 yards and an interception.
All right, those are our final stats. Again, brought to you by the Brooks UR Ledbetter Sportsperson of the Year Award. For more information, go to yourdailylocal.com/BHL Award. And I do want to take a note, Cody, with his 101 yards, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Benji Bauer went over 100 yards rushing in every single game that Eisenhower played this year. I'm not sure if anybody's ever done that before at Eisenhower, but every single game, that's 12 games, and he went over 100 yards. So tough running from Benji Bauer all season long.
Yes, absolutely. Phenomenal athlete, great vision. The one thing that we talked about early on in the season, we talked a lot about his power, but then we were really surprised after watching, covering the first couple of games on how good his vision and elusiveness were. Surprised us for sure. And congratulations for Benji Bauer on having a very, very good season.
All right, we'll take a look now at our scoring summary brought to you by the Warren General Hospital. Exceptional care, exceptionally close at Warren General Hospital.
After a quiet first quarter, in the second quarter with 11:10 left to go, Tucker Lindell had a 13-yard run, and Kellogg with the kick put the Knights up 7-0. This was after the blocked Reynolds punt and defensive offsides, which gave the Knights phenomenal field position. Later on in the second quarter, 7:15 left to go, Braden McCloskey with a 2-yard run. That kick failed. That was set up with a 33-yard run by Jalen Wagner. The score was 7-6. And then immediately responding to that was Benji Bauer's 65-yard run just 16 seconds later. That was the first play right after that Wagner touchdown, put the Knights up 14-6. And unfortunately for the Knights, that would be the last score that they had. Jalen Wagner took over with a $1:41 left to go in the second. He had a 39-yard touchdown run. It was the first play after that Hayden McLaughlin interception on that crucial 3rd and long deep in Knights territory. That tied the game up 14-14 in another quiet third quarter. And then immediately into the fourth quarter, 9 seconds into it, 11:51 left to go. Jalen Wagner again, 57-yard run. McCloskey got the 2-point conversion, and that put the Raiders up in the lead for the first time on the day, 22-14. And with 2:29 left to go, Braden McCloskey, flea flicker pass back from Jalen Wagner. Hayden McLaughlin caught the 31-yard pass in the end zone. The kick failed, but that put the score up 28-14. And a note for anybody who missed it, that was on 4th and 8. And that was such a crucial play. We're talking about first downs, and they went for it all.
Well, yeah, that was a fourth down play. Like you said, with a couple of minutes left, if Eisenhower's able to get a stop there, they've actually got some time to try to go down the field. But smart play call by Josh Mull on the flea flicker, and it goes for a touchdown.
And it helps to make that play call when you already have a touchdown lead. If the game's tied, I don't know if you make that call. But you have that lead. You have that little bit of cushion knowing that they're going to still have to march down the field. And offensively, Eisenhower was definitely struggling in the second half. So it was a really good play call.
All right. That was our scoring summary. Again, brought to you by Warren General Hospital. Exceptional care, exceptionally close at Warren General Hospital. And now we're going to Turn our attention to the Jim Kelly Player of the Game, powered by the Allegheny Grill of Foxburg. And Cody, I know I usually let you do this one, but it's a championship game, so it's my turn this time. And we're going to have co-players of the game today. Jalen Wagner has another monster game, gets them the touchdowns when they need it. But then also Hayden McLaughlin, the big interception, a big pass breakup, and then the game-sealing touchdown grab on the flea flicker. So co-players of the game, Hayden McLaughlin and Jalen Wagner.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And I was kind of going through my mind there back and forth about how to decide between Jalen Wagner and McLaughlin. The answer is to not decide. Just pick them both.
Yep. I wasn't making a decision today. I don't know how you decide. I mean, if just one of them's here, maybe this game is different.
Absolutely.
Wagner offensively did what he does. But again, the defensive plays that McLaughlin made, especially that big interception near the end of the first half, really changed the game. And what allowed Reynolds to take control, get in a position to give Wagner the ball and take control of the ball game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Wagner had the bigger second half offensively with some more significant plays. In the first half, he had a couple of big runs that really padded the yardage stats. But in the first half, Eisenhower had a really good defensive game plan for him. But it was McLaughlin who stepped up and filled that void in the way he could with the interception. So certainly good decision on selecting both of those guys. And Reynolds altogether played a very strong football game, especially in the second half.
All right, so those are our Jim Kelly co-players of the game. We're going to try to get those guys up here. Obviously, it gets a little tough sometimes interrupting the celebrations of a championship game. We're going to try to get both Hayden McLaughlin and Jalen Wagner up here in just a couple of minutes, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the final thoughts here from the District 10 Class 1A Championship at Carter Field in Titusville. Reynolds 28, Eisenhower 14. The Raiders win their third straight title.
Ready to break into a rewarding career? Elwood National Forge can help. Elwood National Forge produces critical defense-rated parts to all branches of the United States military, meaning each day our employees are doing their part to support the men and women protecting our country. With multiple positions currently available and several career paths to choose from, Elwood National Forge offers on-site and on-the-job training, competitive pay and benefits, including 401k and insurance that start the date of hire, paid time off, and long-term job security. We'd love to support you in building a career. To learn more about becoming part of the Elwood National Forge family, visit enfjobs.com.
With locations in Chippenville and Tionesta Builder Supply is a full-service home improvement center specializing in everything you need to build or remodel your home. From power tools and accessories to paint and sundries and general hardware merchandise, Tionesta Builders has everything you need to get your project done quickly. Find out more at tionestabuilders.us and like them on Facebook.
Looking for a place to hone your skills in the off-season? How about just a friendly pickup game, or even a new league to join? Then head to the Hub at PF and Russell. An all-weather athletic facility, the Hub has everything you need to get your game on, from basketball and volleyball courts to indoor batting cages. And more than just an athletic facility, the Hub also plays host to special events like concerts and worship services. The Hub is a proud supporter of local athletes and wants to thank the community for all its support over the last 2 years.
Icy Ink Screen Printing and Embroidery, located at 2043 Pennsylvania Avenue East in Warren. We offer screen printing and embroidery on apparel, as well as graphic design, web design, photography, and custom frames, and specialize in youth fundraisers. We also offer photography services and custom frames. Check out our Icebox stores online at icyink.com or give us a call at 814-688-0034. Let's meet, drink coffee, and design some cool shirts. Be cool, wear Icy.
Hey, this is Joe.
And this is Scotty.
And we're the hosts of the Beehive Sports Podcast. Do you like uncut looks into all things sports?
If you said yes, then this is a sports show for you.
Live weekly shows broadcasted on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, covering everything from local sports in northwestern Pennsylvania all the way to the pros.
Not to mention the hottest takes you will ever hear. Follow us on all social media platforms and tune into episodes today.
Hi, Chris Rossetti here from D9and10sports.com. I wanted to take a second to tell you about one of the best restaurants in all of Western Pennsylvania, the Allegheny Grill in Foxburg, PA. With indoor and outdoor dining, you can enjoy prime rib all weekend long, or perhaps it is their full wings served on Thursday wing nights that you're after. From celebrating a special occasion to hanging out with family and friends, the Allegheny Grill in Foxburg is the place to be. As they like to say, you come for the food and you stay for the view. Reserve your table today at AlleghenyGrill.com.
All right, our final thoughts here from Carter Field in Titusville. Reynolds with a 28-14 win over Eisenhower claims its third straight District 10 Class 1A championship. The Raiders will move on for a PIAA quarterfinal date with Port Allegheny. Date, time, and location for that game will be announced later. And Cody, just some final thoughts before we say goodbye here from Carter Field.
It's been a long season. It's been a great season for Eisenhower. We have had the pleasure of watching Benji Bauer and the intelligent Eisenhower defense win ball games for them, enough to go undefeated up until this point. So I want to throw all my congratulations to the Knights on another successful season. Look forward to covering them in the future. And then as far as the Reynoldsville Raiders go, I think this was a good game for them. I think it was good for them to have some things exposed, certainly some things to work on this week as they move forward. And sometimes that's what those teams that dominate a lot of games, they need a game like this to refocus them and get them ready for stiffer competition.
All right, so again, our final, Reynolds 28, Eisenhower 14. Raiders are the District 10 Class 1A champions. Will face Port Allegheny, the District 9 champion, in the PIAA quarterfinals next week. I want to say a big thanks to Christopher Joblunch for running the camera the last couple of weeks. Appreciate that. And for Cody Elms, this is Brian Hagberg on the YDL Sports Network saying thank you for watching, everybody, and good afternoon from Carter Field in Titusville.